LayTopTeam.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, November 7th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with the high of 86. T-Bob's being very loud. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag at 8:15, and Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins the show at 9 a.m. to talk Saints. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, yo? What up, what up, what up? I hope you're all having a great day. T-Bob, Mario, Taylor hanging out. Jake will be here shortly. I had some dad stuff to do. But again, we'll be here shortly. Got a good show planned for you today. Going to go over Brian Kelly's press conference here. Probably the first couple of segments. Talk a little New Orleans Saints. Some basketball in the air. Unfortunately, both of the losing variety with the Pelicans and the LSU women's team. Yeah, then we got OTB mailbag, a little CFP preview. Bring us some of the biggest questions going into tonight's second rankings. No Nick Underhill today. He's a little under the weather. He had to reschedule for Wednesday. So that'll just be pushed back by a day. But again, we'll talk Saints. And I kind of want to talk about the Saints from this angle because yesterday I tweeted this out. I thought the responses were interesting as they were a very mixed bag. And it's kind of about whether or not... just kind of like, how should they feel about this season? Because some, I guess I accuse people of feeling mopey. And some people have been like, yeah, right? Like, come on, 5-4, leading the South. And others have been like, what's there to be excited about? You're just going to lose in the first round of the playoffs, even if you make it, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know, maybe have a little roundtable discussion about how we feel as a team. Are we more in or out on that? As always, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. If you want to get involved, get in the chat, get your mailbag questions in later. You want to watch the show, we love to have you on here. And if you're listening in the car, drive safe. Let's have ourselves a great day at work, school, whatever we got going on today. I would probably want to issue a trigger warning for some of this BK sound because there is one answer in particular that... I know has already been making the rounds. I don't know exactly how they broke it down on yesterday's shows. I'm sure it's not going to be too dissimilar from everybody's reaction when you hear some of these answers. But if you haven't heard the answer yet on kind of the defensive game plan, again, trigger warning, there is going to be a level of what? When you hear it, and I just don't want, like I said, everybody's driving to school, be safe out there on the road, the interstate. I don't want any anger. No road rage, nothing like that. We're moving on to Florida after this. But let's start, and we'll get into Jaden Daniels and everything. God, this answer's so crazy. All right, this is going to be Kelly 4, Mario. That's where we're going to start this thing. And this is a question on whether or not LSU would have done anything different defensively after reviewing the tape.
Could we have spied the quarterback? Absolutely. There were third down situations that, third and long that Clearly, we felt like we wanted to be in, more coverage, and we felt like our unit pass rush could keep them in the pocket. That did not prove to be the case. I would say that was probably, the number one thing in terms of if we had to do some things coaching-wise differently, we probably would have employed a spy technique.
You know that meme of that kid on the computer who's like, oh, like he's being blown back by the computer? That's how I felt when I heard those sentences uttered yesterday. Now, in a selfish way, it's very validating of our film review, right? I mean, it's what we said yesterday. Like, the most inexplicable part about this entire game plan was a complete lack of a spy, and that every bit of sober analysis that we did in the run-up to the game kind of came with a core caveat and fundamental understanding of you have to spy Milroe and stop his legs first and then account for stopping the explosivity through the air, figuring out how to guard Jermaine Burton and everything. I mean, maybe this situation where, it is literally kind of inexplicable to me how you have, well, actually, that's not true. That's not true. Because I this is my, okay, it felt inexplicable when I first heard it. How can you have a coaching staff with so many decades of experience, NFL, college, wins, championship, all this stuff, right? This, regardless of what you think, these guys have good resumes. How in the world could you watch your team and watch this team and come to the conclusion that playing coverage and relying on this defensive line, which couldn't even handle KJ Jefferson's legs, that this defensive line was going to somehow contain Jalen Milroe's athletic ability, and that you really needed to watch out for Jalen Milroe's arm. So when I first heard that, I was just shocked. Maybe it's one of those situations where you know so much that you overcomplicate it, and you try to go full 5-head big brain and come up we're going to zig when they zag or something. So I was a bit, and then okay, let's really try to math it out, because last year against Bryce Young, that's basically all you did was spy him. You just lined up Harold Perkins and said, Harold, don't worry about anything except for like a lion out of the tall grass. When Bryce Young moves, you take off and you go take him down. And I'm like, okay, so why did they do that last year? It's the same guys, Matt House. Why did you do that last year and not do that this season? And that's when I'm like, okay, well, the key difference there is the secondary. Going from Jarek Bernard-Covers, Mekhi Gardner, Joe Fouché, Greg Brooks, to now what you have this year. We all know that. And so then you start to math it out, and you see okay, so in my mind, I'm guessing that it was that fear of the personnel on the back end not being able, obviously they didn't trust him in any sort of man situation, right? But it was that fear of the personnel on the back end not being able to hold up that led them to this decision. But even with kind of cobbling together that line of logic, I still feel like somebody in the room needed to be but wait, guys, I think we're going too far. Or at least ask the question, what's the lesser of two evils? If Jalen Milroe is going to beat you, how do you want to lose to him? Because that is the question that this LSU defense was essentially asking themselves all week. You knew you weren't going to shut down Milroe. Nobody had any illusions about that. It was, could you do enough? How could you force Jalen Milroe to try to beat you? And it just feels wild to me. And to me, this is also where it feels inexplicable on the same level of whatever the staff has been doing during camp to evaluate this team as well, where they emerge from camp with just some really head-scratching, fundamental takeaways on who their team is, and they do a great job of fixing it mid-season. But again, they come out the gates and they just think one thing, and it just feels like the complete opposite. You're like the Harold Perkins linebacker, right? So yeah, so I don't know how no one spoke up in that room and said, maybe creating a game plan that would work best against a completely immobile pocket passer is not best. Yes, we're weak in the secondary. Yes, Jermaine Burton and Isaiah Bond will probably be able to dominate us if we try to man-on-man them. But you saw Jalen Milroe miss throws. That's still the weaker part of his game. The most natural and powerful thing for Milroe to do is to just beat you down with his legs. And again, it's the Chinese buffet thing yesterday. You just completely allowed him to. So let's listen to it one more time just so you can really bathe in it a little bit. Would you have done anything differently defensively after the game?
Could we have spied the quarterback? Absolutely. There were third down situations that, third and long that clearly we felt like we wanted to be in, more coverage, and we felt like our unit pass rush could keep them in the pocket. That did not prove to be the case. I would say that was probably, the number one thing in terms of if we had to do some things coaching-wise differently, we probably would have employed a spy technique.
You have Harold Perkins. And after the game against Jalen Milroe, the quote is, if we would have done anything differently, we probably would have applied a spy technique. Guys, that's kind of wild, bro.
The bigger issue I have, which he did not address at the press conference, you had the ability to make that adjustment at halftime. You saw in the first half, Milroe misses, 3-4 wide open deep balls?
Yeah.
And then you're tied. It is 0-0.
Yeah.
You have a 30-minute game. Put a spy on him. They made no adjustments at halftime.
Yeah, no, and to be clear, again, remember, this is all going on. The first third down of the game, you did spy him. You looped Harold Perkins, spied him, that it was a good play. I like the design. And you didn't get the stop, but that's fine. It was still, I kind of applaud that. You never did again. And remember, like we broke down yesterday, you had that stretch from the third to the fourth quarter where you were up 28-21, and you had a full quarter where you didn't even force a single third down. And all of a sudden, a quarter later, it's 42-28. On the bookending that, you had 7 consecutive third down conversions. And so within all of that bad, nary an adjustment was made. On these third and longs, just continued to play like cover 3, quarters, like just deep, drop everyone, soft zones, no QB spy. But he here was the answer. It's just 5. Were the proper halftime adjustments made?
Look, we have spy within our package. We didn't utilize it in certain situations that, in retrospect, would have been a great call. So, that's not really a halftime adjustment per se. You have that in your plan. That's just a matter of making that call. I remember clearly writing up on the board, for our football team, in the second half was tackling better. We needed better leverage. Our eyes needed to be better. And I felt like if we did those things, we were going to be in good shape. And then from an offensive standpoint, it was, continue to have the balance that we had.
I mean, even worse, like he said, not a halftime adjustment. It's literally just like calling power or calling, a draw. Like it's just a play call. It's just a play call. And obviously, Kelly was asked all the questions about Matt House, and he was like, "Look, man, that's like off-season discussion. Like, we're not going to get into any of that right now." I feel bad talking about this publicly because it doesn't matter if I have animus or not. If at the end of the day, I'm still saying that I kind of believe that somebody should be fired. At the end of the day, I'm still affecting another human being, their livelihood, their family, everything else. But I mean, this is just like, it's just a bit inexcusable, especially when you're paid that much money. Like, those answers are kind of absurd, man. Like, you see in all caps here, in retrospect, like question mark, exclamation, like I know, like, me and all the other drunk a-holes at Don Juan who are yelling, "Come on, go Tro," every time. Like, even we were yelling about spying. Like, everybody was. The most casual of football fans were saying to spy Jalen Milroe, and yet we have individuals who are paid millions of dollars, and the call wasn't made. And again, it's not to say that you would have stopped him. And not say he would have gone well, not say you would have won. Maybe you go and get the top taken off you, but who cares? Again, if I'm going to force Jalen Milroe, if I'm going to lose Jalen Milroe, I want to lose with him beating me with his arm. Chris Kissinger says, T-Bob sounded like a Bama apologist. First Finney Turner, now crapping all over LSU. Great morning, guys. Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. I try to give my honest opinions whenever I can. I've caught a lot of flack for the Dallas Turner thing, but it's what I believe. Like I've said a million times, I wish Harold Perkins has caught Jalen Milroe under the jaw and driven him through his sternum, right? I mean, that would you wouldn't have loved that? You would have got pumped up in that? You would have been cheering that? Like, come on now. Let's not tell a lie, Krista. And so in the vein of continue to keep it honest, I can't hear that answer and not be a bit flabbergasted, flummoxed, and perplexed. And that's exactly how I find myself after that. Now, it's not all bad. That answer was shocking. When we get back, we get some of the other answers. I think there is still some value. And we got to talk about this Florida game, guys, because not a good team, but in terms of how they match up with an LSU from strength and weakness standpoint, a little frisky dangerous if Jaden Daniels isn't available. We'll get to it next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You go to All-Star Toyota today and get your next Toyota. Maybe it's a Sequoia, maybe it's a Tundra, maybe a Tacoma, Camry. Whatever the point is, they got great deals. Toyotathon is going on right now. It is that season, the Christmas season. And perhaps you got like a loved one, child, somebody, and you want to do that classic, amazing, like, oh my God, you wake up at Christmas, there's a freaking car outside with a bow on it. All-Star Toyota can make that happen. I'm getting myself a little early Christmas present, and it's called a second minivan, okay? Because I'm a man. There's a reason why man rhymes with van, okay? So you either get with it or you get left behind. Toyota Sienna, it's the best. Really, all the Toyotas are. Really, it's the people, though, at All-Star that separate, whether it's the service department, sales staff, rentals, everybody's, it's top-notch, y'all. Customer service, unparalleled. All-Star Toyota.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is celebrating Ram Power Days with $15,000 off MSRP on new 23 1500 trucks, $15,000 off, and a 1 million mile warranty. Plus, we'll pay your trade-off regardless of what you owe. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
Join me
me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, reacting to LSU's basketball opener. We'll have Glenn West on the Tigers and Sharif Ishak on the Saints. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Jake is here now, done with dad duty.
Hello, friends.
Real quick before we move on to sound, just your take on the. And I offered a trigger warning to the audience, just so you know, before we played the answer.
Yeah, I dropped Knox off and turned on the radio, and that's the first thing that I heard. It was like, if you're driving, be careful with what you're about to hear.
But you heard the sound in the break just now as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, duh.
I know. Duh. Freaking duh. That's actually the best commentary I've heard on it.
I think we were all watching the game saying the same thing. I mean, obviously, we all follow former players and current players of different whatever on Twitter. And, like, my feed constant for, like, about 15 minutes, all I saw was quarterback spy. Like, from people that have nothing to do with LSU. It was like quarterback spy. So that was the most shocking thing to me was – you had a quarterback that's how he was going to beat you. And that's how they did beat you. That's how they converted so many third downs. And, again, like if you had a situation where you didn't really have a guy that could do it, right? If you had a linebacker that's a little bit slower.
I guess you're right. Like, I didn't even really mention that. You also literally have the most natural best spy in the country.
That in this game a year ago, that's probably the reason you won the game.
So do you agree with my take? Because I tried to get into their heads. And the only thing because they did do it last year, right? But they trusted the secondary. So the only thing that I could come up with is that they just put way too much emphasis on trying to protect what is a weak secondary.
I mean, yeah, they did it. I mean, it was in the game plan last year, and it was multiple ways.
That's what I'm saying.
To do it. It was like Perk would start on the edge, and then he would just wrap around and then drop back into a spy. He'd be in the A-gap and back up into a spy. And also, like in the game, the secondary, as we mentioned yesterday, they pretty much held up as good as they possibly could have. Their two top receivers had a combined 89 yards.
Yeah,
so now you can, and you can also say, well, they were playing that coverage, and that's why they did that. But like, mix it up a little bit. Like after the third time, I would have, without question, had that in the call. And then I heard the other sound where, like, it's not a huge adjustment as far as, hey, we got to get on the board on the sideline or locker room at halftime, and we got to draw it up and hope that they get it. Like, it's already one of the things that they have on their play sheet. And so, like, I'm just still surprised.
It's a play call.
Yeah.
Again, maybe sometimes there's, like, in chess, there's something called, like, chess blindness, where you'll even see a grandmaster, just, somebody who is just unbelievable at the game, just make like an inexplicably bad blunder, and it's because he was maybe like thinking so deep that he missed something obvious. Like, I don't know. Like that's the only kind of frame that I can come up with.
If they watch tape and they saw some games where Milroe wasn't having success running the football, he wasn't pulling it down, and they went into the game saying, okay, well, maybe this is who he's trying to be. Maybe this is who they're trying to make him.
Yeah,
We're going to play coverage. And then they get you twice. Maybe even they get you a third time. They're not going to get me 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right? George
10,
Bush.
11.
Right? Ain't going to fool me twice.
Ain't going to fool me twice. Oh, man. All right, here is this is going to be Kelly 2. Here's an update on Daniel's availability.
I would consider him day-to-day. He's going through the injury protocol, and he's made improvements. But this is a process that we'll just have to, see how it plays out from day to day. But I can tell you that he's made some progress.
And here is Kelly 9. This is talking about how important this week is going to be for Garrett Nussmeier.
I think every week has been important for him in terms of preparation. Certainly, we're going to make sure that he is ready. There's some things we got to clean up, and he knows it. I would say that he clearly recognizes that, there's some things that he's got to do better during practice, and he's up for it, and I'm sure he's excited about it.
I thought, and the broadcast pointed this out, and it was a good point. Like, you bring your backup quarterback in, the first thing you let him do is you let him throw the ball. Like, in that environment,
cool. I like that.
They are completely okay with who he is as a player. I thought there was things on that last drive that shows you exactly what they love about Garrett Nussmeier. Now, I want Jaden Daniels to play in this game with everything that I have, because I still think he can get an invite to New York. Can he win the Heisman? We're not here to have that conversation right now. But just to get there, I think would be a huge accomplishment for him and his career. I mean, only a handful of people in the world ever have gotten that invite, but also you got to be smart for his safety and for him moving forward as well.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any other sound here that's worth playing. Maybe give me Kelly 14 here, Mario. This is about kind of the process of building what Kelly wants this program to be.
It's not about talent, it's about talent and traits, and building traits where there's an attention to detail, the fine details, has to happen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You just don't show up on Saturday and go, you know what, I'm going to have attention to detail today. So that's the process that we're in within this program, that when you have a tutor's appointment at 9:30, you don't show up at 10:30. You show up at 9:25. That's attention to detail. Or when there's a meeting that is at 2 o'clock, you don't show up at 1:59. That attention to detail takes a lot of time. It takes consistency and building those habits. We're working on that. We are not a finished product, but they're working hard to get there. We're just not there yet.
I can tell you that's going to be a part of his process. Like, I think we've heard him talk too many times. We kind of know what the situation is. Like, that means something. Like, some coaches say that, but they're like, as long as you're here when this football meeting starts.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like that is part of his process.
No.
And every single thing that they do over there, he wants that attention to detail.
So there it is. And a lot of the answers are about that. How, right? Like, where's the one about building the program and
I think it's 13
through recruiting, right? Is that 13?
No.
It's a longer answer. Actually, let's end with this, because this is a conversation we're going to have. Let's go to Kelly 12. This is how to avoid a letdown against Florida.
It's the same thing about, what last week was about. It wasn't an emotional week. It was a preparation week for us. So this week will be the same. It goes to what I said. Like, if we want to be elite, we have to be consistent. We won 10 games last year. You need to win 10 again. And that's in front of you. And if you want to start closing the gap towards being elite, then back-to-back 10-win seasons starts to do that. So it's a challenge to our football team in terms of how do you want this program to continue to grow? It's on your shoulders, and you have an opportunity to continue to get better. Coaches need to get better, and players clearly need to get better. And so this is a great opportunity, playing a really good opponent at home, and you've got a chance to move from being a good team to being a great team.
And look, let's be clear about this. Players need to get better, sure, but the coaches got to get better. That was an awful game plan defensively. The defensive staff has to get better. The development of the D-line remains one of the worst aspects of this entire football season, where you look at the talent level that you have there relative to production. And I'm not saying that maybe like Mason Smith will ever fulfill the potential that you saw pre-injury. So I'm not saying that. It still should be better than what it is, right? Mekhi Wingo, even playing hurt, probably still should have been more effective this year than he was. The edge defenders, like they're not awful players. They're not necessarily always being put in positions to succeed right now. So hopefully the coaches can get it right. Because, Jake, from where I sit, if Jaden Daniels doesn't play this game, all of a sudden, this is a relatively dangerous Florida team to you, because they can put up points. Like, they will move the ball against this defense.
Mm-hmm.
You are not good enough, and Graham Mertz is good enough, along with Etienne in the backfield, Pearsall out there on the edge. Like, they will likely move the ball and score against you.
Pearsall's going to have moments in this
and
game.
if you have Jaden Daniels, I'm not really sweating it. Like, I think Jaden Daniels can outlast whatever offensive barrage Florida can put up. But if you don't, then I'm kind of like all bets are off. Like, I actually don't know how I would score this game without Jaden Daniels.
I mean, we could go over the individual matchups and the group matchups, and we certainly will. But, yeah, this Florida offense can move the football. They're going to move the football. They're going to score points. And so you're going to have to match some of that. Now, if you have your full arsenal of offense, I don't think they can stop you. Now, I have belief in Garrett Nussmeier. I think he's a quarterback that can certainly go and lead you on many touchdown drives. But that's me believing and thinking that it can get done. We know what this offense is when Jaden is back there playing quarterback. And so it does, it certainly changes the math of this game. Now, this Florida team just wore the ugliest uniform I've ever seen at home and lost to Arkansas. Yes, and so they're not a great team. But to T's point, when you look at some of the matchups.
You almost lost at home to Arkansas as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, they did, though.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. No, I know.
No, when you look at some of the matchups here, I do understand what T-Bob's saying. Like, Graham Mertz is going to take anything that you give him defensively, right? It's going to be a little bit of a methodical down the field, check down, Pearsall for 15 yards on a dig route. And that's the way that they kind of go down the field. And they had two really good physical running backs. And so there's some challenges in this game if you don't have everything available to you.
Well, let's be clear. Like, you are worse than the defenses statistically that Florida has put up 30 plus near 40 points on. So I agree. Like, Graham Mertz is not explosive. You look at the yards per attempt, it is a lot of efficient check down stuff. But again, the fact remains, you are worse than a lot of the defenses that Florida has had a ton of success against. And that's worrying. Now, Florida's defense is bad, and you should be able to dominate their defense, which is why, but again, without Jaden Daniels, it does feel like a bit like, well, okay, but that's kind of a chaotic wrench thrown into the analysis there. If Jaden Daniels cannot go, massive game for Nuss, because I do think the offense is going to have to score points to win.
Real quick here, you heard that answer about if you win out, you'll have 10 wins. You would have to beat Florida, Georgia State, Texas A&M bowl game. So this would be back-to-back 10-win seasons. You did it in 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Then you got to go back to, now they had a run from 2010 to 2013 where they had at least 10 wins. You go back 05 to 07 where they had at least 10 wins. But, I mean, there was a period of time where you did not. If this team has 10 wins and they go 10-3, successful season?
Yeah, no, yes. I'm always a for a program the caliber of LSU, 10 wins will always be the litmus test you pass. Like, if you get 10 wins, okay, cool. And it's not to say that there can't be disappointment within.
Right.
Because certainly people thought maybe this team was going to be better than that, more like 11-2, maybe even better than that. But the reality is that the defense was far worse than you ever would have thought it would be. And so if you still get it, like, whatever, it's not hard to explain. 10 wins is good. 10 wins is good no matter what. And a 12-team playoff, there will be scenarios where that could maybe even put you on the edge of the playoffs some years. Maybe not. Most likely it's going to have to be 10-2 regular season.
Right.
To be in that 12-team playoff, but 9-3 can get you on the edge of time. So, yeah, I think 10 wins is great, especially with given that, like, you're having to overcome what is an all-time bad defense.
Like the 2018 season, like that'd have been on the edge of a playoff spot, right? And you ended up 10-3 that year, winning the Fiesta Bowl.
And you'll go to New Year's 6, maybe play Tulane. Could be very exciting. And I still think that New Year's 6 is cool. We had Peter Burns on yesterday on Snapped, and he was trying to poo New Year's 6. I'm like, what do you mean? I think it still has.
Tell PB to go tee it up for UTSA golf.
No,
okay?
Him and Aaron are just sitting here, and they're just like, Georgia's so much more explosive now, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hold on now. Like, I get it. Mahonky has done well when it comes to putting up, like, he's been good post powers. He's been explosive. He's been productive. But, like, Dominic Lovett and Robert Thomas, they're telling me how explosive and dynamic they are, and they had 4 catches for 33 yards each. Like, you're telling me how much more
Schrader
explosive
was the best offensive player on the field.
I know. I'm saying you're
Saturday.
telling me how much more explosive the Georgia offense is, and yet I saw LSU put up 49 in Como, and Georgia at home put up 30. And I'm not saying the offense is good. Don't get me wrong. Like, Carson Beck is good, but explosive or dangerous are not words that I would use to describe it. And they were like shouting me down like I was an idiot, like I was being gaslit.
Why didn't you just phone a friend?
They're not
Phone a friend next time.
I told them to shut the hell up.
I know you did, but just phone a friend next time too, so I can pile in with you.
No, they're an efficient offense. Like you said, they're a good offense. They're not explosive.
No. I don't know, man.
DB knows just enough football to be dangerous.
So that's the thing. If you hear somebody saying that, don't let your friends fall for that crap. It's just not true.
I know we won't because of all the things going on here, and I know we got to take a break. Cody Schrader, my favorite non-LSU football player in the country.
He's awesome.
Oh my God,
Well,
the way
course
that
Taylor
guy
loves
ran the football. Wait, why would Taylor love him?
I don't know. It's just another me kind of jabbing Taylor.
I mean, what that game
I'm
meant to
surprised.
that
You
man,
never do that. So.
I mean, he was out there running, and let me tell you something. He was bringing the punch to those Georgia defenders. That does not happen often.
Yeah.
And, man, saw him after the game. I mean, he's emotional. He wanted that game bad.
Coming up next, I want to get into some of this debate that is currently going on in the chat about the standard, right? Like because many people in the chat seem upset by maybe players being suspended for being like 5 minutes late to a tutor or something like that. So let's get into it next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. 225-888-8888. You want to get Gordon? You want somebody who's going to fight for you against those dastardly insurance companies? You want Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. And remember, a lot of your favorite athletes currently on the G team, including that LSU women's basketball team. Rough start for the ladies last night. We'll get into it. But a champion is not defined by its losses themselves. It's how do you respond to them. And something tells me that Coach Mulkey's squad is going to respond in the right way, just like Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. 225-888-8888. Somebody can start fight. I was trying to say get somebody who's going to fight for you. I don't know what happened there.
Brought to you by Adam Sandler. GetGordon.com is the website. Any area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Sean Salisbury joins us, and a recruiting update with Shea Dixon. Hopefully you'll join us Tuesday 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Nookie says, anyone feeling at all confident about 10 wins? Yeah, I mean, look, I still think you should win all of these games, right? Like, if we look from a matchup standpoint, again, with Jaden Daniels, I'm not worried about Florida. At home, if you have Jaden Daniels, that's fine. Garrett Nussmeier, that does become interesting. Georgia State's good, but it's Georgia State. And with Texas A&M, you actually match up really well with them this year, where their strength is their front seven. Again, I will take this offensive line against anybody in the entire country. And A&M's weakness is their offense. And so, that's LSU's at least done pretty solid against bad offenses this year. So I actually do like all of the matchups. Now, a New Year's Six bowl game, all bets are off. Who knows who plays? Who knows who sits? Who knows all that, right? I don't know. But the ability to finish 9-3, you should. Like, that should be the expectation. So, I feel relatively good about it.
Yeah, I am right there with you with some of the matchups, and we'll see who you have available there. But you match up well with these teams down the stretch. Florida, big brand, but Florida's come back to earth. After starting 5-1, they are 5-4. And this is a team that I know not all of you. I know there's some younger maybe fans that are like, well, we beat Florida 4 straight times. This one means something. All right. There's a whole generation of LSU players and fans that this is the rival. This is the game. And so I'm expecting Tiger Stadium to show up and realize it's LSU-Florida record be damned of what Florida is.
You want another vocab word, Jake? Do you know what
always.
a palindrome is?
No.
A palindrome. Does anybody know what a palindrome is, boys? Reach back. Sorry for
Heard
showing
the word.
calf here.
Don't know what it means.
Some kind of witch. I don't know, something derived from a witch.
No, it is like a witch, like a spellcasting witch.
Like
no, that's great, but no. It is when a word is spelled the same way forwards and backwards, like race car.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
This series is the only palindrome that I've ever seen where it's 33, 33, and 3, right? So 33 wins, 3 ties, 33 wins, 4. There you go. Palindrome series. Let's go.
It is.
Time to end the tie. Unlucky number 7.
Let me tell you, if you would have told me when I was 12 years old watching LSU beat Florida in 97, that one day you would have the ability to take over the series lead against Florida, I would have said, you have lost your damn mind. There ain't no way that's a possibility. We are going for the 5th straight win for LSU in this series against Florida. By God, that means something. I hope I'll be in there. I will be in there, and there'll be no credential. It's going to be fan. All right, I'm going to be in the building, hoping that that Tiger Stadium is at its peak.
I would say this on the idea of like, is Kelly too strict with his standard, right? Because some people are upset by that answer about being late for tutoring, and that's not exactly why guys like Chestnut and Harris aren't on the team, but it is in that vein. I'm saying, like, I don't know if it's that exact story, but it is stuff in that vein. Jake, I don't know about you. I believe in enforcing that standard. Like, I have no problem that they are off the field because I think that has power. It has merit. I think that's how you build the culture that you're looking for is you don't take that crap. I just think that LSU's done an awful job of coaching within the personnel problems. Like you could be better even with those guys sitting out.
I'll give you a couple of examples of a guy that I played for that had very similar standards. We used to have, and this is my freshman year with Coach Saban, we used to have 5:55 film on Monday mornings, not 6 a.m., 5:55, and that's what it was. And we were in the Lawton room, and if you weren't there at 5:50, you were pretty much considered late. And I can't tell you 3 times in that season a starter walked in at 5:54, 5:55, maybe right before it starts. He said, "Get out, and I'll see you Tuesday." This is Monday morning.
That's what I'm saying.
It didn't matter who it was. We were in a bowl game.
Yeah, exactly. You think Nick Saban would take people being late to tutoring and stuff?
We were in a bowl game situation where we had a curfew, okay? It was like early in the week, so it was a late curfew, and we had guys, and he's like, "I want you in your room at 2 a.m. or whatever the curfew was. We had guys playing Boo-Ray. Didn't go out. They were playing Boo-Ray in each other's rooms, right? One guy playing Boo-Rays going 4 doors down to his room. It was 2:05. The security guard said, "Hey, you had a player here at 2:05. I said, "Oh, Coach, I was in the room. I was just playing Boo-Ray." He said, "Did I tell you to walk to your room at 2:05 or I say be in your room at 2? Guy didn't play the bowl game. A guy that played, not a starter, but he played a lot.
There you go. Tell my grandma won my crib when I was or my dad's crib back in the day.
I love Boo-Ray.
Game of Boo-Ray down the
I
pike.
love Boo-Ray.
All right, when we get back, close out hour 1 of OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com. Go see them in Gonzales, Louisiana today for all of your steel needs. And my God, it'll feel like a steal when you see the price of this steel. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's steel buildings, tubing, purlin, whatever you need, you go see it there on site. And understand that not only are you getting the advantage of like a live and local sales team, a great culture, great environment. They have a lot of fun over there, actually. Like, you're going to be a kick out of going to visit. But the best part is, the best part I think is the humans and the customer service. But I would venture to say many people's wallets like the prices as well, because they're disrupting the steel industry because they go straight from the seller, right? They make it themselves and then straight to no middlemen jacking it up like the national guys. Community Steel Company.
And Gonzales, Louisiana, not Houston, Texas, not Dallas, Texas, not Atlanta, Georgia, nowhere else outside of right here. They are local. They want you to know that, and you'll find that out by calling 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Parts Marketing can help you get their attention.
Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, reacting to LSU's basketball opener. We'll have Glenn West on the Tigers and Sharif Ishak on the Saints. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. What up, everybody? Closing out hour number 1. That's all there is to say. We are moving on from Alabama. An inexplicably poor game plan. It is what it is. Hopefully, somebody can get it fixed. Anthony Rinkus. Man, I disrespected the heck out of my body after the Pels game and seeing that BS of an LSU game. Yeah, so the Pels fall to the Nuggets last night. Did Bally ever get their stuff together, Mario? I did not watch
on
one
of my platforms. Yes, I still can't access it on my phone or my smart TV.
Unbelievable.
I was really mad. I tweeted Bally Sports.
Sounds more like a dumb TV.
Kind of got suspended in the process, but I got to watch it on my laptop. Thank God.
Christian Clark did highlight an article where basically because Bally Sports has gone bankrupt, at the end of the year, no matter how long the contract is, every NBA team will be a free agent. So the Pelicans have a chance to make this right to their fans at the end of the year. Hopefully they will. As far as the Pelicans losing the Nuggets, I don't know. I mean, this kind of feels like some of what Brian Kelly said about LSU and Alabama rings true to me, where, I mean, you're just not on that level yet.
Yeah.
Like you're so far behind the defending the defending champions and everything that they've done. And look at the Nuggets' own process to get there. It took them years of getting incrementally better and taking steps. So they're just way better than you right now. Because, like, even, doing some box score watching, you're like, well, okay, like, the Pelicans shot it well. Like, the guys you wanted to produce. Like, the score is awful, but it doesn't look like an awful game on paper in some weird ways.
Well, what I was looking at all preseason and then the first couple games of the regular season, this team was terrible at free throws. Like 45%. This is the second game in a row they've been over 85%. They were 93 last game. They were almost 87 this game. And Jake, get ready. Our guy, Jordan Hawkins.
I know.
50% from 3, 31 points. So there were some bright spots in this game.
He's a shooter that they absolutely need.
Just
certainly
give him
while
the
Trey
green light
Murphy's
when he's
out
there,
Matt Ryan had another good shooting night. So, like, those elements of the Pelicans team and how they want to play, they played well last night, but still too many deficiencies to overcome a really good Nuggets team.
And then the LSU women's team falls to a Colorado team that is ranked, Sweet 16 team that lost to Iowa last year. It returns now. What's fascinating about this is I texted Coach Mulkey yesterday, good luck tonight, Coach. Can't wait to watch y'all kick ass. And she responded with Colorado, and this before the game. This is yesterday morning. Nobody keeps it more honest than her.
No.
Because she has all the skins on the wall where she can just say whatever the hell she actually believes. Like when she tells you last year, I like to schedule bad teams at the beginning of the season because we're not good and we need to get better. Like you don't hear coaches talk like that normally. Yeah. So she texted me back yesterday, Colorado is better than we are right now. They have 7 returning seniors and graduates. We are talented, but not as polished as Colorado. Experience and playing together matters. We will fight hard. And regardless of the outcome of the game, this will be good for us. Go Tigers. I mean, she knows basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, inside and out. She basically is admitting there. I mean, that's exactly how it played out. They looked like the more experienced and cohesive team compared to you. Now, you saw the talent when you look at Michaela putting up points. Angel Reese get another double-double. Like, you saw the talent that you have. But, no, you're not as much of a team as you need to be yet. But, again, after reading that text in a weird way, I'm like, well, yes, this is absolutely the person I trust to get you there, though. Like this team is going to be great. Coach Mulkey will do it.
Yeah, very high-scoring game out there in Vegas. And, a lot of people ready to pounce on LSU losing their opening game. Hey, I saw friends. I saw the likes of the post from ESPN and who liked that thing, all right?
Look, I mean, it's
the thing is, Coach Mulkey couldn't care less.
Yeah, and you knew
about
it was
where
coming.
team's at right now.
You knew it was coming because not only did you win the championship, but you're kind of viewed as a heel in many circles. You're celebrated in many, but like Coach Mulkey's always kind of been viewed as a bit of a heel as well. And so you knew the haters were just waiting in the rafters. But, like, who do you think's going to get the last laugh? That's what we're going to see. Hour number 2 of OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com. Patient Plus Urgent Care. Quality care for life's unexpected moments. You, the family, whatever you need, you can go into Patient Plus, and they got locations all throughout Baton Rouge. I mean, look at the buildings in those pictures, y'all, because that is representative to me of why the experience is so different than your traditional doc in the box. Everything is just more so. It's just better technology, better employees, doctors, nurse practitioners, better systems in terms of customer service, like the digital profile system, better everything, which is why you need to think long and hard about that Patient Plus Urgent Care membership, where when you go twice in a calendar year, you're already coming out ahead and you get unlimited visits. Ask about it. Look for it online. patientplusuc.com/membership. Patient Plus Urgent Care.
And you go find that location that is convenient for you in the Baton Rouge area, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. every single day. patientplusuc.com. Get in and get better.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our
Good morning, everybody. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, November 7th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 86. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag at 8:15. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome back to OTB Hour number 2. We got some OTB mailbag, some Saints talk coming up. I think I want to start real quick again, just one more time. We're going to listen to those 2 BKMs. Don't spend long on it, and then we'll get into the New Orleans Saints conversation. Jake, congratulations on your San Diego Superchargers.
Thank you.
Last night.
As we're watching in studio, Westfell's on Darius Davis returning a punt for a touchdown for the Bolts.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
From Westfell, played at TCU. Imagine your team not winning this week in the NFL. Couldn't be us unless you're Taylor.
Yeah. All the way down to the 6-yard line, Taylor. What a tease.
Yeah. I was telling Mario, though, man, not a great quarterback battle last night. Not great.
Got to win.
First half, Zach Wilson, 61 yards passing, Justin Herbert, 53. That was their halftime numbers.
We can have a Justin Herbert conversation later. But for right now, let's go ahead and in case you missed it in the 7 a.m. hour, let's play the 2 answers. Here's what Brian Kelly says. This is Kelly 4. What would they have done differently defensively?
Could we have spied the quarterback? Absolutely. There were third down situations that, third and long that clearly we felt like we wanted to be in, more coverage, and we felt like our unit pass rush could keep them in the pocket. That did not prove to be the case. I would say that was probably, the number one thing in terms of if we had to do some things coaching-wise differently, we probably would have employed a spy technique.
And then here is where the proper halftime adjustments made. Kelly 5.
Look, we have spy within our package. We didn't utilize it in certain situations that, in retrospect, would have been a great call. So, that's not really a halftime adjustment per se. You have that in your plan. That's just a matter of making that call. I remember clearly writing up on the board, for our football team, in the second half was tackling better. We needed better leverage. Our eyes needed to be better. And I felt like if we did those things, we were going to be in good shape. And then from an offensive standpoint, it was, continue to have the balance that we had.
Yeah, so just completely incomprehensible as to how you ended up there defensively with all the great football minds that you have in their room, to think that was the game plan and then to not just make the play call. Inexplicable, frustrating, worth hearing, still very frustrating, and kind of a lot of commentary tied up just intrinsically in Matt House and what this year has been like for Matt House. All right, let's talk New Orleans Saints real quick here, Jake, because yesterday, John O'Barnes, I can't remember exactly what he tweeted, but it was something about man, everybody's really upset around here. Like what's going on? And we touched on it a bit, right? Some Saints fans were upset that you forced 5 turnovers against a bad Chicago Bears team with Tyson Bagent as the quarterback, and you don't win bigger. You only win by 7. Now, I'm not saying, like, I understand where that comes from because you had opportunities to bury them offensively. You didn't do that. It should have never come down to them ever having the ball late in the game with the possession to try to tie it anyway. Sure, I understand all these things. But it's also come to the caveat of this is not a very good football team, right? But I still like football, and I still like winning mainly, and I still like winning the NFC South. And so there's been this kind of debate that has started among Saints fans where some are like me, are like, hey, man, you know what? 5-4, your rivals lose, you're winning the South. That's cool. Like, even if it's a little sloppy within, that's cool. And for me, I see, like, okay, you have red zone issues. You're getting really creative in the red zone. You're trying to figure out ways. You're getting Taysom Hill involved. Okay, like Chris Olave got going this game. Like, I like some things. I saw the defense remains great. But then there's the other side that's like, okay, sure, you're 5-4 and you're winning South, but guess what? The South is garbage. You're actually still bad. And all you're going to do is go lose the first round of the playoffs, and then you're just going to be stuck in this purgatory because you were good enough to win the division, but you're not actually good. And so what do you think, Jake, as a kind of a neutral observer here on the outside looking in, whose side would you fall on in this debate?
I mean, I think that Saints fans should be appreciative of being 5-4 right now, but I'm kind of like I don't really get that feeling, and I think, you know, coming into the season, the expectations were high, but not incredibly high. I forget what we went around the room and we did this. I think 10-7 was probably the median. Like, that's kind of where I think a lot of us landed. And you have every opportunity to be 10-7, what we thought you were going to be. You are first place in your division. Is it a bad division? Who cares? You're first place.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I'm someone who, like, okay, you could say it's likely that you go lose the first playoff game, and I'm not going to argue.
But who? Just get in the tournament.
Yeah, but if you're there, you don't know.
No, the Giants won a Super Bowl at 9-7. I've been on a team that's won a playoff game at 8-8.
This is the same team that won the Super Bowl and then the very next season lost to a 7-9 Seahawks team.
Yeah, Beastquake. God, what a run. Yeah, I mean, so I, again, get in the dance, and if you lose, it is what it is. And look, we will talk about the Saints and what needs to be fixed. Again, it's not to say that there aren't problems, but you know, we knew this was a flawed team. And the other part of it is like, I don't think you ever want to be, as a fan or somebody enjoying this form of entertainment that we love so much, you never want to get to the spot where all you care about is the end destination, the result. If you put, and that's almost everything in life, if you put all of your energy and thought and emotions into, does this end at the pinnacle, then not only you're not going to get there because you're distracted and you're being future oriented and you're not doing the things that it takes in the present to get there. Like, so it's flawed on that level, but also it's just not enjoyable. You're not, like, again, we've talked a lot about cliches this week. You're only as strong as the weakest link. What's the old cliche about, like, enjoying the journey? It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. Like, I find that to ring very true in football, where we wait all offseason to get here once again, and you finally get it, and on Saturday you get to watch your favorite college team do battle. On Sunday, you get to watch your favorite NFL team do battle, and there's pain, there's happiness, thrill of victory, agony of defeat, but it's fun. It's fun, unless all you care about is the end result. So I summarily reject the idea that some of y'all are putting out there that it doesn't matter because this team won't win a Super Bowl. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's a miserable way to go through life. I'm going to enjoy football, and I'm going to celebrate the wins, and guess what? I'm going to complain about the losses. And when they lose again, we're going to bring up DA's overall record again and talk about how he sucks. And then when they win, we're going to give him credit for making adjustments, because that's what you do. You react to the ebbs and flows and to the product that's being put in the field in front of you. And when you win in the Dome, to me, it's always a good feeling. Again, especially when you have the Falcons and the Bucs lose in such dramatic fashion to teams that they had no business losing to. Like again, you squared up with Tyson Bagent. Okay. They squared up with Josh Dobbs. And who else? Why am I blanking right now?
C.J.
Oh,
Stroud.
C.J. Stroud, right? Now, granted, the Texans are kind of frisky, but nobody thought the Texans were going to be any good entering this year.
Yeah.
Like, so it's the NFL. It's the NFL, man. You get a win, Be happy. Celebrate it. Enjoy it. Because guess what? Next week, you may lose, and then you're going to be angry all week.
My kind of optimistic spin, at least for the last couple of weeks, is the defense started really slow in the first half against the Colts and this past Sunday. But the offense kept pace both times. I mean, 21 points in the first half against Indianapolis doesn't sound impressive on the surface, but you combine that with 17 points this past week, it feels like this offense is making progress.
Yeah, I mean, look, and that's a good point because the defense took over. Like, the offense had to carry in the first half. Defense takes over second half. There's good complementary football. Also, this offense is just trying to score 20 points. Like, if this offense hits 20 points a game for now, that's a good incremental step towards what, the improvement that we need to see.
And I feel like people should be a little more critical of the defense. Like, it's not like they've been bad, but it hasn't really been up to the standard that we've seen early in the season and in past seasons. Like, you give up 70+ rushing yards to Jonathan Taylor in the first half against Indianapolis. You were trailing in that game. You gave up 200 yards to Tyson Bagent, which, come on, man. I get that there's no film and he's a rookie, but yeah, they got to start the first half a little bit faster.
Well, but I mean, you also picked Tyson Bagent off quite a bit. Like, I don't.
In the second half, they made the adjustments. Credit Dennis Allen, but
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think I'm ever going to criticize the defense if you give up 17 NFL games.
No, but
like 20 points is that benchmark.
Yeah, but my point is the offense is performing better there, and that's team football, right? When other areas fail, different areas pick you up.
Here's another point. You have 8 games left. Only 2 are against teams with winning records currently. 2. All right, you got the Vikings and the Lions. Falcons losing record. You got them twice. Panthers, Giants, Rams, Bucks, all losing record.
Yeah.
So you have 2 teams right now, and I would say Detroit's the only good one in there.
Yeah.
And Minnesota's got something. You like the culture there if you're a Minnesota Viking fan because of what they've done, how they started to where they're at right now. They're 5-4. But I would say Detroit's the only really good team you have left on your schedule of the 8 games.
To bring things back to the Roman Empire, it's like, if you were at one of the big stadia, like the Colosseum in Rome or something, doing the gladiatorial games, that's like the Eagles playing football right now. This Saints schedule is like some little back alley, outskirts, Roman suburb in which it's just like a rickety. It's like the first place that Marcus Aurelius fights in Gladiator.
Yeah.
Like that is the Saints schedule right now. We'll see if they end up making it to the Coliseum. Right now, they're out here scrapping. This is like the bum fights of the NFL, and guess what? I love it. I'll order that VHS. Okay, I'll watch those games, and I'm going to cheer for my bum to win the fight. Do people even know about bum fights anymore? Is that a dated reference?
I got to be honest. You're like the only person I know that makes that reference.
Yeah. And it's an awful reference, to be clear. It's like one of the most inhumane, just awful concepts ever.
But I appreciate
where people are, basically manipulating and paying homeless people into fighting one another.
You appreciate bum fights?
I appreciate the reference though because I don't hear it often.
No, that's a very popular meme. Meme when 2 like average sports teams are like debating or like the official account, someone will post like 2 hobos fighting.
Oh, okay. So maybe there is some cultural relevancy. Kind of greasy though. Maybe I should stop. Oh well. The point is, suck it up, okay? Have fun, watch football, and if your team wins, celebrate it. And if your team loses, be angry. Lean into both. That's at least how I'm going to handle it.
Look, you completely control your destiny in the South as well. With the Falcons twice, you have bad Carolina, and you got Tampa Bay. So, I mean, you still have all of these division games sitting right there in front of you. You control it. I mean, you can get into the postseason. I don't care what the record is. Get into the postseason, and you have enough veteran players, and you're starting to figure out how to use those veteran players and those weapons that you have. And so they are on a good path right now.
Yeah, I agree. And we will see where it goes. Who's up next on the schedule, boys?
The Vikings.
You got the Vikings on the road. You got 2 road games and then 3 home games.
Josh Dobbs?
Yeah, a lot of people making fun of the Falcons for blowing that game. I'm kind of trying to chill when it comes to that.
Lean into it, dude. It's Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs won 2 games in like 18,000 years.
He's also a rocket scientist.
He is very smart. He's incredibly intelligent. That is true. That's true.
That's how you can get there like on Tuesday and figure it out.
When we get back on OTB, it's time for mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. YouTube.com/1045ESPN. Put them in the chat. We'll get to them next. And this can be about anything: football, basketball, life, NASA, Josh Dobbs, whatever. We'll get to it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org is the website. 925-8552 is the number. Lock it in. I don't care if it's residential, commercial, whatever. Central Plumbing is your one-stop plumbing shop. And they've been at it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decades, y'all. 50 years. Are you kidding me?
It's a long time, Bo.
That's what I'm saying. So you're not going to hit them with a problem they don't know how to solve. And look at the growth over the 50 years. Look at the massive fleet. How does that happen unless your customers are consistently satisfied with the entire experience? The prices, the quality of the work, the fact that everybody's licensed, bonded, insured, the warranty. You want Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552.
Go to the website, residential, commercial plumbing. Obviously, they can handle any problem that you might have. That's why that 24/7 number is always given. But also, if you want to remodel, check out the website, centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is all.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Sean Salisbury joins us, and a recruiting update with Shay Dixon. Hopefully you'll join us Tuesday 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo! All right, welcome back, OTB, y'all. Hope everybody's having a great morning. Hour 2 roll right along, and it's time for some OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Is it time to have a difficult discussion about Scott Woodward? Is Jay Johnson his only successful hire? Nookie, I saw you post this earlier, and I assumed you were trolling because the Kim Mulkey thing. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what the hell are we actually talking about? Like, you're saying Jay Johnson, like, Kim Mulkey won a freaking natty in year 2. What the hell are we talking about?
I mean,
I thought it was a joke earlier, but now you're asking to get in mailbag, and I'm like, is this serious?
Yeah, like they both won championships like 2 months apart from each other.
Like, they're both wildly successful. I don't care if they don't even make the tournaments this year.
Well,
like,
they
would
both had
still
the
be
number
a
one
success.
class coming in after a championship. They're
Yeah.
both preseason number 1. Like, I don't know how you could say one successful and not the other.
Yeah, that's
well, not only that,
feels sexist. Nookie.
Mulkey had 3 national titles before she even got here.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's wild to me. And again on Kelly, I know it hurts today, but we have to be objective. What was your record the 2 years before Brian Kelly?
5-5 and 6 and 7.
Yeah, you were one game under 500.
Yeah.
If you win 10 games in back-to-back years after 2 years of under 500 football, how do we say that's not a program moving in the correct direction? You know?
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday. I was like, his pacing is on track with a Les Miles, with an Orgeron, with a Saban.
No, don't go lose to Florida. But outside of that, come on. Let's be objective here, guys. So no, I don't think it's time to have that discussion yet.
No. I mean, even like LSU soccer, that's a sport that he hires a coach and, they make it the NCAA tournament and wasn't a program that did things like that. So like even the sports that we don't spend a lot of time on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's been, I think he's been great. And I think the Kelly thing will work out, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Do you think the generally accepted idea that Sean Lewis, that's the Colorado OC who lost play calling duties, do you think the generally accepted idea that Sean Lewis is going to leave Colorado for a better job this offseason has anything to do with Shermer taking over play calling duties? Well, yeah, I mean, for sure. Oh, you mean like they took it away because he was going to leave? I don't know. Colorado's kind of scrambling. They've eaten a lot of losses in a row. They feel a little panicky right now. Sean Lewis seemed like he was the talk of the town early on, and all of that has cooled off completely.
Yeah, he was a head coach at
Where
Kent
at?
State.
Oh, okay.
And left to go be the OC at Colorado.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so that was a big move for him, and he was the talk of town. And hey, offense hadn't been the problem in Boulder, so I'm not sure why they made that move. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like they outside the Oregon game, they'd scored points. So that one was surprising to me.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I feel like it feels a bit scrambly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like they're kind of overreaching. I believe this is the week where they got to win or my bet's not hitting.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, freaking Stanford, Ironmaner. What the hell, man? 300 yards? Hashtag OTB mailbag. Have you ever played Pokemon Smash or Pass? I have not. Dragonite, though. Hell yeah. It's a thick boy right there, bub. You know what I'm saying? Go look up Dragonite. Kind of Mewtwo. Kind of beat in the face, but look at that lower body. I love the shape. What about you, Jay? You got anybody? Kind of strike me as a Blastoise guy. Catch a little hydro pump, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
What about Ditto, though?
I don't know any characters.
Okay. I like where your head's at, Mario.
Ditto
right.
could just become anybody you want.
Yep. Ditto could become anything. That is true. Actually, in the like real in my Pokemon fan fiction, I've actually written quite extensively.
Oh my god.
About that. Mr. Mime's always a weird one to me.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty humanoid, right? And Ash's mom had that Mr. Mime hanging around all the time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the internet's questioned it quite a bit in the past.
Yeah. Wow. You just
Look at Dragonite, Jake. Come on. Tell
Dragonite?
me. How many? Look at that thing. If you're watching online, this is a thick dragon looking. Ooh, right there. Come on now.
All right, we got to move on here. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Hashtag OTB
We're
mailbag.
showing pictures.
Y'all got any thoughts on them Raiders electric game? Seemed like those firings worked out. Yeah, I did think it was very funny to see how happy all the Raiders looked after Josh McDaniels out of there and they go and get the win. Josh McDaniels is about to get paid $50 million. So, guys, he still wins. Like $50 million. That's the dream.
To be an awful head coach twice in the same division.
Unreal.
Guess he got you twice.
OTB mailbag. What NFL city would you like to live in if money was not an object other than New Orleans? Ooh, I like that question. I gotta really think here.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know, man. Tampa's a really nice place.
I figure you go to Miami.
Slightly chalky.
Don't say Nashville.
I was kind of feeling a little bit of it. Like I could feel if money was not an issue, I could live in the Nashville suburbs. I know it's chalky.
I would go
it's
Phoenix.
Classic white guy moves.
I go Phoenix.
Oh, I've heard Phoenix is awesome too.
Incredible.
Pretty classic white guy move as well, but I've heard Phoenix is great.
Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale, that whole area.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
A little hot maybe in the summers though.
Well, it's hot here.
Yeah.
I would also pick Nashville.
I would say
wait, Taylor, you would pick Nashville?
I would.
Oh man, that's a shock.
So the other one would probably be Chicago. I've always wanted to go to Chicago. I've never
Chicago's
been,
fun.
so I can't. I don't know. Like maybe it would be first if I actually
It
went.
seems a little too cold for my taste.
I would love to see what it's like to actually live. Now I'm
Oh,
not saying I
Denver-
would like it, but
Denver.
I would like to see what it's like to live there. Oh yeah, Denver.
Denver's the answer.
That's true.
Denver's the answer. Denver's great.
That's true. They got legal psilocybin mushrooms, so I'm with you on that.
They got legal everything there. Denver might be the answer.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. 13-0 Ohio State, 13-0 FSU, 13-0 Washington, 12-1 Texas, 12-1 Alabama. Who takes the 4 seed?
Texas. They beat Alabama
Ooh, that is tough though, ain't it?
in their place.
Yeah, I think that probably would be the end all be all.
And if it's not, what are we doing? I will go Taylor Twellman. What are we doing if that happens?
I mean, they did beat Georgia in the SEC championship.
I don't care. They didn't beat Texas.
They got better though as the season went on.
Don't
Well,
care
Texas
about that
got
either.
worse.
Don't care.
Texas lost to an Oklahoma team that ended up with 4 losses.
Don't care. Didn't lose to Alabama.
We'll see what happens there. 'Cause,
Alabama has the best loss though. They lost to 12-1 Texas.
Don't care.
This is my fear with the 12-team playoffs. Like, we're going to have arguments like this to decide who's the 13th
Yeah,
or
but-
12th best team.
but here's
No,
the
12th
deal.
best goes to best group of 5.
11th best. But here's the deal:
Okay,
is
10th,
that
11th.
I thought about that a lot, Mario, and it's like how I talk about cancel culture. The social democracy decides what we care about or don't. It just won't get that much steam. Like the fan base will be upset. Who's ever 12 and left out will be angry. But like nobody else is going to be thinking that 9-3 Iowa's going to really vie for the champion. Like nobody's going to care.
It's the same thing as now, just extrapolated, I guess.
Well, it's the same thing, but with less, like a team that's less good. Like a 12-1 Alabama versus a 12-1 Texas. Like, oh my God, that's tough. Like if it's like 9-3 versus 9-3, it's like I don't care. Put them in. Put them in, whatever.
Hey, just get
now,
ready.
If you get left out, you'll be mad. But I don't think the Nationals is going to care that much.
And I think Scone would agree with me. Get ready for whoever is that initial group of 5 12 seed, whoever gets left out because of that, and they were 12, but they got bumped out. Like, people are going to go on a rant. Matt's going to be one of them.
Matt's definitely going to go on
He
a
is
rant.
going to be one of them. That's where you're going to have the argument. It's not going to be who was the 11. It was, to your original point, the 12 who got bumped because of the group of 5, the top-rated group of 5, which I am all here for. I love it. It includes somebody that normally would not be included, and in recent years, that team would be deserved, right? Tulane last year. Hell, Tulane would be again this year. So, no, I'm all for that. I love that.
Yeah.
And if you are 12 and you don't want to get left out, be 11.
I like auto seeds, you know? And like, do I really want to reward the 12th best team in the Power 5 versus a team who was the best in the group of 5? Like what are we talking about? I think that's fine to reward that team.
And you saw Tulane last year against USC prove it. You saw them against Ole Miss fight like hell in that game with a backup quarterback. And so it's not like it is completely out of pocket to put them in that spot.
Nookie on the Pokemon front says Eevee, T-Bob, Magmar for Sadist. I feel you. Eevee feels a little sus, dude. Danny's favorite Pokemon is Squirtle, says Daniel Basham. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
I don't know these, so like I feel like I should be laughing, but I just don't know the
Yeah, I
characters.
know. It's funny how weird I still have that original 150 just burned into my brain. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Would you drink New Orleans tap water? And is LSU a gymnastics school now? I drink the tap water sometimes if there wasn't a boil water advisory.
Gymnastics.
And no, LSU is a baseball school.
Baseball school.
Yes. A baseball school until further notice.
Gymnastics in the championship last year, right? Or the
Yeah,
final
no,
six?
they did great. They made the Final Four. Isn't it Final Four?
Yeah, there's Final
Four
Four.
teams make the meet, right? Yeah, 4 teams make the championship meet. Hashtag OTB mailbag. If A&M hands Jimbo his pink slip, what's the best and worst hire the Aggies could make?
They are going to hire Mike Elko.
Mike Elko would be
Which is
great.
probably the best hire
It's probably
they
the
could
best
make.
one. Yeah, I agree.
I think Lane Kiffin would also be a very good hire.
Lane, would Lane go there?
I don't
asking,
know.
like,
I don't know.
it's not
I
even
kind of feel like
rhetorical.
Lane's waiting on Alabama, dude. I feel like he's really going to keep trying to hold out for that thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Alabama would offer Lane. I'm just
Like,
saying.
I feel like
feels
Lane would
that's
see
what
the
he
Yell
wants.
Leaders one time and just.
Well, not only that,
They're-
like,
yeah, that is true. They're a little weird
style
play.
wise, philosophy wise, is he a little too close to Jimbo for them?
No, I don't think so. I just don't think he'd go there. What happens with, and now Jimbo would be on his ranches, plural, with all the buyout money, but what would Jimbo do? Like, would we see him again?
Go coach UConn or something, I would think.
I just don't know.
I
You guys,
I think he'd probably chill and just go do
I
the
would
TV
hope.
thing.
I would. But could Jimbo do TV? Look, I am here because Jimbo let me play running back, believed in me to play running back. But could he do TV?
No, I mean, I think he could. I don't know. They give him the shot. They give everybody
He'd be
the shot.
entertaining.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
he talks fast and says whatever's on his mind.
When Dan Mullen went to TV, I didn't think it was a great idea, but like Dan, I think actually does a good job. So.
Guys, that's what I'm saying. Dan Mullen's cool. He's normal. Is the thing. Like Dan Mullen's actually like us.
But you may not have
he
thought
just
that was
happened
a
to be very
natural
good at
fit when he
coaching
got out of
football
coaching,
for a
is
while.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. The problem is Dan Mullen's face just looks phallic. Like that's the biggest issue there.
And he's void of neck as well, but.
Yeah, which I think runs into the phallic energy coming out of his kind of body shape. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Can we talk about Mike Denbrock's system and how James is a perfect system QB? I don't know that I agree with that. I think actually, like, the reason why this offense has gotten so good is because Jaden's able to go through his progressions, recognize it, like, because he's playing great quarterback. Like, I think last year, if you wanted to call his production system, I would say yes. This year, no. I think it's more on Jaden being a great quarterback. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
Okay.
I think you have a quarterback that is seeing literally everything on the field at a very, very high elite level and processing it all. I mean, everything. Like what is it? Like, what would you even like if you had to have a knock?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm. Yeah, like I don't know how you're arriving at system quarterback when he's doing everything. Like he's making Mike Denbrock look great. And Denbrock's doing a good job. I'm not saying that, but like Jaden, don't take away from Jaden. Is all I'm saying. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Sal Trapani wants to know, do you think Aranda returning is realistic? It doesn't feel realistic, but I'll be damned if I'm not going to fantasize about it.
Is that it? Like, would that be a route that you'd want to go? Like,
I'd be down. I feel like him and Kelly would work together well. Personally, they feel much more of the same vibe.
Where's Baylor at? Like, as far as defense, though.
But see, I don't know that I care. I still feel like Dave Aranda is a good defensive coach and would be here, but maybe not.
I always just don't like hiring old coaches. I don't know. I'm weird like that. I feel like I want to move forward.
No, yeah, that's what, and that's why it doesn't feel realistic.
Yeah.
Because would Dave Aranda want to come back here and go back to his old job? Like I
he kind of maximized being the DC at LSU. Like there's not much, more he could do than what he did.
Looking for Baylor. 88th right now in total defense. LSU's 97th.
So who would you go if you had? Is there a DC on your mind that you're like, ooh?
So it's hard, like when you start having this conversation and you get enamored with maybe some of the Big Ten defensive coordinators, you have to remember they're playing Big Ten offenses as well.
Yes.
And that has to come into your thought process. So, no, I've not spent time even thinking about that.
No, I guess I haven't
as far as
really
like
either.
names and who would be up and all that if there is a move to be made.
All right, let's do one more. #GoToBe mailbag. If James Franklin somehow beats Michigan this week, should Penn State fans absolve him of all the prior big game issues? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Let's
you
be
just had to be
clear.
one of the two.
Yes, Penn State, if they beat Michigan, that is the get-out-of-jail-free card. And actually, Penn State has a sneaky good sorry. If we look at all the one-loss teams, no, Alabama probably has the easiest path to the playoff. Or, sorry, this is what I think the question that we framed last week was,
Texas.
if you looked at, if we looked at outside of the top 10, who has the best chance? And it was like Ole Miss and Penn State and Mizzou. I said Penn State because I just don't think Ole Miss and Mizzou can finish it out. And with Penn State, if you beat Michigan, then you could maybe find your way. If Michigan beat Ohio State 3-way tie, whatever. I don't know. But yes, whatever. I don't know what you want to answer. I'm saying if they beat Michigan, that's awesome.
ESPN matchup predictor: Penn State 50.9% chance to win against Michigan.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
In 19 games,
that spread's going up. It was 3.5 yesterday in favor of Michigan. Now it's up to 5.
Yeah, 19 games against top 10 opponents. James Franklin is 3-16.
Well, not only that, but Penn State's offense is not good. Interesting. Ben Oh my god! I just almost got Seymour Butts in the chat. Reading. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, little CFP preview coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu for 50 years. Been changing Louisianian lives. Guys, look, you want to get that AOS degree in 2 years? You want to get out a job, get into a career? ITI can help you. And I don't look, if you work full-time, all this stuff, they create schedules that work around your schedule. Maybe it's night classes, whatever. Again, 2 years while you have to work full-time. Maybe you got family. You need to provide for that family. You can do so with the tools that ITI gives you. And it's help along the way, guys, because this is not just some national for-profit BS, okay? This is a local, family-owned company that cares about their students. I've been out to the campus multiple times, been at the Student Appreciation Days, and I've seen it with my own eyes, man. The vibes are immaculate. The faculty cares. The faculty has at least 4 years of real-world experience in everything that they're teaching. Look at all the different models and scale models and digital models of everything you're going to be working on. Change your life today with ITI Technical College.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, reacting to LSU's basketball opener. We'll have Glenn West on the Tigers and Sharif Ishak on the Saints. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Yellow Beats, holla at me.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Taylor hanging out with you today, man. Let's talk a little college football playoff, as I think there's some key questions emerging out of tonight's second ranking. Very interested to see, Jake. Now, all the top 8 teams won. So you may be thinking to yourself, well, like, what's interesting? How about this? Should UGA jump Ohio State after beating Mizzou? I mean, they're back-to-back defending champs. They don't have 2 wins to the quality of an Ohio State, but they did beat a 12th-ranked Mizzou team that's pretty damn good.
Yep.
And again, because they're back-to-back national champions, I feel like that does work in their favor as well. Like, that's how these rankings always work.
Although it shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but I'm just being real about
right.
how it is.
I'm not saying it shouldn't. It's saying the College Football Playoff Committee is not supposed to take last year into account. I still don't think they jump them. No.
Okay.
I don't think they do. I think when you look at the win against Penn State, that's going to hold up more than the Mizzou, although I think Mizzou is right there. I mean, that's a good win. But then you go to the Notre Dame, even though Notre Dame lost, is that better than the Kentucky win? I would think so in the committee's eyes. So I think you still have Ohio State won.
Okay. And then is Kentucky Georgia's second best win at this point?
I mean, yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's the only other ranked win
Yeah.
that they have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess technically it's a ranked win for sure.
I mean, yeah, at the time.
Yeah.
They were ranked, but yeah. Because the other wins are Florida, South Carolina, Auburn,
Yeah,
who were not.
right. None of those teams are any good. All right, so, okay, yeah, I agree there. Now, what about this? Should Washington be in the top 4? Are we going to continue to hate on them? Undefeated, beat USC and Caleb Williams.
You're telling us they got the best win? Because Oregon's the top-ranked one-loss team.
That's what I'm saying. Pac-12 has the most ranked teams of any conference in the country. Like, what? And I know what the CFP's doing. They're doing the have your cake and eat it too thing because they know Ohio State and Michigan are going to play each other and one of them's going to drop out. But I say drop your nuts and drop one of them out already. Drop Michigan out already and put Washington in the top 4.
Or drop Florida State out if you're going to drop somebody else out. Because Florida State, when you look at their best win, it's a 3-loss LSU team.
Yeah.
Right? Because Duke's gone the other way as well.
True.
Clemson is 5-4. So that's their best win right now. And Do I think Florida State deserves to be in the top 4? I do. But if you're going resume on resume, Washington's is better, and it's not really close at this point to Florida State's.
Yeah. I mean, what are we doing? How are you going to put Florida State over? That's a good point. How are you going to put – so Washington's got to be in the top 4.
I would agree. I mean, I'm looking at their schedule right now. You beat number 6 Oregon. You beat Arizona, who's in the top 25 now. They're playing really well. You just beat USC. I understand USC is not what people thought it was going to be, but like it's on par with everybody else that Florida State has played. And then these next coming weeks, they're gonna show up. I mean, they got Utah this weekend. Yeah. That's a ranked team. They got Oregon State next weekend. That's a ranked team. Yeah. So the next couple weeks going to tell a lot.
I was going to say, and that's what else the playoff committee's doing. They know that Washington controls their own destiny in terms of getting in the 4 because they're going to have so many impressive wins if they finish the fight. But they should already do it this week. Like if we're being objective, what Jake just laid out is exactly correct. There's really not any debate, and I like Florida State. And if Florida State wins out, they will get in because one of the Big Ten teams will drop out.
Exactly.
Right? So Florida State fans don't freak out. But Washington, for fairness and objectiveness, should be ranked in that top 4.
So right now, what do we think? Like Georgia runs the table they're in, obviously.
Yep. Obviously.
Florida State runs the table they're in.
100%.
The winner of Ohio State, Michigan, assuming they don't lose again, are in.
They're in. I mean, a one-loss Big Ten champion's getting in.
And then if Oregon and Washington, it's not fair to Washington if they lose this game, but if those two teams win out, the winner of the Pac-12 championship goes.
Yeah. No. And that's why my biggest takeaway from the initial set of rankings was the Big 12 is the conference outside looking in. Where that gets fascinating. You really think they would take one-loss Oregon over one-loss Texas? I mean,
they're ahead of them now.
They should. No.
Yeah.
They should. Oregon would have a better resume, better conference, better all that. But, I mean, you don't think the playoff committee's salivating to get a little 12-1 Texas
I get it,
in that Final Four?
If they're going by the rankings right now, like Oregon's still got a tough schedule. They got USC, again, that's still probably tougher than anybody Texas has left outside of Oklahoma. They got Arizona State. Then they got number 12, Oregon State. They win all those again. You play number 5, Washington. You win that game as well. You got 3 more ranked wins than Texas has.
I get it. I understand all of this. But you also recognize what 12-1 Texas would feel like to the playoff committee versus 12-1 Oregon. It's not fair. It's not right. But they'd be like, there would be people who would try to find a way to logic Texas in there 1,000%.
Yeah, I mean, they're the big brand, but I guess if you want to look at it the other way, maybe they need a little West Coast in there. Like geographically, that may help them with Oregon as well, because outside of Oregon, like you got Ohio State or Michigan, you got Florida State, you got Georgia or Alabama. I mean, that's all towards the east part of the country. I mean, if you need a West Coast team like Oregon's your team or Washington, whichever one wins.
I would be so happy if 12-1 Texas got left out. So funny. All right, when we get back, wrap up hour 2 of OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Be drinking those tasty Texas tears. What would Texas tears taste like?
Beef.
Barbecue and entitlement? Like the Austin tears specifically?
Or tea.
Just tastes like silver, essentially. Tea.
Yeah, don't they call them tea sippers?
Oh, is that what they call them? I never knew that.
A&M fans call Texas fans tea sippers.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, pinky out.
Yeah.
It's funny coming from A&M.
K to Z. Well, look, A&M's a bit more. We'll get it. K to Z windows. K to Z window coverings. K to Z blinds.com. KTOZ blinds.com. You want window coverings at WOW, custom blinds, window shutters, plantation, whatever. It's all there for you at K to Z. And it's from an aesthetic and functional level. You want to take your interior, your exterior to the next level. You want Brandon Barton and K to Z.
Yes, you absolutely do. And look, they're going to come in and a plan for your space. Right? It's not just going to be, hey, this is the only plan that we have. It is going to fit your space, maximize your space. K2ZBlinds.com, K2ZBlinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Sean Salisbury joins us, and a recruiting update with Shea Dixon. Hopefully you'll join us Tuesday 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, happening, y'all. Welcome back, OTB.
What would a 12-team playoff look like if we had it this year? And I love doing this week, and I still just don't understand how someone still wants a 4-team playoff. So you would have the Tulane Green Wave, by the way, coming in at number 12. They would be traveling right now to Seattle to take on Washington in the first round. You would have Louisville going to Eugene, Oregon to take on the Ducks. You would have Ole Miss traveling to Austin to take on Texas. And you would have Penn State traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama. Are you kidding me? And it's not going to end up that way, but it's going to end up some sort of brand on brand type matchups. Not exactly like this, but you're getting an idea. I mean, who wouldn't want Penn State going to Tuscaloosa in the first round of a playoff? Who wouldn't want Ole Miss going to Texas? Man, I cannot wait for it. It is going to be fantastic. Those first 4 teams will get that bye, and they're just sitting there waiting on their opponent. And then as soon as the game ends, you got to really get that game plan going. It's going to be fun, man.
It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a ton of fun for sure. The 2024 gene of college football.
You're going to have guys locked in the postseason. You're going to have guys that are going to absolutely, if they're in that playoff, I would think 95% are going to play in that playoff, and that number might even be higher.
Yeah.
You get so many fan bases engaged late in the season.
Yes. And
like even like right now, like a Tennessee, an Oklahoma, a Utah, all these like would still be engaged because they're right there on the edge of it.
LSU would still be engaged. I mean, right? Like, again, there will be seasons where you can go 9-3 and you'll be in a grouping about 5 or 6 teams, and one of y'all will get selected to be that 11th best team. And if you play in the SEC and you have a quarterback like Jalen Hams, like, okay, you would actually have a shot there. So yeah, I'm hyped, man. It's going to be great, but this season's going to be great as well. Like, we don't have an overall overwhelmingly dominant team, right? It doesn't feel like there's a Georgia Bulldogs of last year who will just kind of roll through things here. And again, even Georgia had the great playoff game against Ohio State. Like, I don't know who's going to win. Like, who would you take to win the national championship today?
In the current format we have?
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah, that's fine. But again, we still haven't seen Michigan play
I know.
anyone. And Connor Stallions has been sidelined.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Michigan.
Exactly. But nobody's saying that with their chest. There's
Yeah.
no conviction there. It is what it is.
Yeah, because like I don't know if I would go Michigan.
I don't know either. I mean,
Who
probably
would you
Michigan
go?
or Georgia would be the chalk.
I would stay chalk and go Georgia. They've had a tougher schedule so far, not by much, but they have. And I've seen Kirby; he's been there, done that. I don't know if Harbaugh can get it done. And again, they haven't played; it's all going to be settled on the field. But I guess right now, if you made
the correct answer is Washington. Okay, nerd. Yeah.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is celebrating Ram Power Days with $15,000 off MSRP on new 23 1500 trucks, $15,000 off, and a 1 million mile warranty. Plus, we'll pay your trade off regardless of what you owe. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, November 7th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 86. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mari, Taylor hanging out with you. Damn, I love the way Stephen A. enters first take sometimes. My dog is swagger personified. My man's dripping. Look at it. Look at him.
I don't know. He had a Jordan hat on the other night. He was courtside somewhere, and his bill, I don't know what he did with it. It was crooked in so many places, and somebody said Stephen A.'s bill looking like an old El Paso taco.
But that's the thing about Stephen A., right? Like the suit he has on now, it's a nice suit, right? But there's nothing really extra normal about it. But the man creates the confidence, right? Like he gives off the aura, even just in a nice tailored suit. Like this is a normal, nice tailored suit. There's nothing overly flashy. Now I'm sure it's expensive and everything and whatnot, but like, damn, he's just a beast, dog. All right, so this hour is going to be kind of a free-for-all bit of an hour. Normally we start with Nick Underhill on Tuesday. We're going to bump him back to tomorrow. He was feeling under the weather. Go to the doctor today. I want to have a couple of conversations. First off, you missed it to start the show. Just some maddening answers from Brian Kelly about spying Jalen Milroe. And, in retrospect, we think we should have, which was, kind of beyond the pale from comprehension-wise. And then I have it... we got some interesting info that maybe says that at halftime, Nick Saban lost his mind on the Alabama defensive staff for not employing a quarterback spy against Jaden Daniels. So I don't know why the same thing was not done on this side of the equation, but apparently it took until Sunday to realize maybe we should have had somebody account for Jalen Milroe's legs. Does it feel like coaching malpractice? Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of does, and I would hope that whatever conversations need to take place and whatever adjustments to the process that need to take place to avoid that happening in the future, I would really hope that would take place this week for this LSU team. Because again, this Florida game, if Jaden Daniels plays, I ain't really sweating it. If Jaden Daniels plays in this game, I think your offense is so elite and so great that even though Florida will put up points, that you'll be fine and you'll end up winning the game. If he does not, that's where it becomes interesting because this is not a great Florida offense, but you're a really bad defense. And they've put up points on teams that have better defenses than you, is what I was trying to get to. Right? So, I believe that Florida will score. If Jaden Daniels plays, you outscore him. If Garrett Nussmeier does, I don't know. And everything for this LSU team now hinges on 10-3. So, all of a sudden, Jake, this Florida game has taken on some kind of massive importance. And, as Jake points out yesterday, a chance to somehow finally take a lead in a series in which you felt like you were buried 2 decades ago.
Yeah, and when your backs are against the wall, like you've come out and you've played pretty well if you're LSU. Now, Florida, same situation. They've lost 3 games in a row and certainly reeling and losing at home to a bad Arkansas team just last week. But this team has responded well in the past.
Yeah.
Right. You lose a game to Ole Miss. You find your way back to Mizzou. Was that game perfect? No, not by any means. But you beat a good Missouri team at their place, and so that's what you have to do in this one. And regardless of who plays quarterback, you have got to get behind him, and you have got to make plays because they're going to have success. Now, how much we don't know, but they're going to have success offensively against your defense. It is not going to be Mississippi State. It's not even going to be Auburn, in my opinion. Right. So they're going to have enough success where you've got to be successful offensively.
Yeah, they're way better in those offenses.
Yes.
Like, let's be clear about that. Like, I do think Graham Mertz has a bit of empty calorie stats going on. Like, there's a little bit of Kirk Cousins mixed in there. But
if y'all don't stop with the Kirk Cousins hate.
What? It's true, dude. I don't know what to tell you. He's a very good quarterback, but there is an empty calorie element to his stat lines.
Why do you pick another quarterback?
I think he's the ultimate example of that. Is the problem.
You and Mario, y'all just.
I don't even understand what you're upset about because I have said multiple times on the show that Kirk Cousins won me over. I think that was my one takeaway from the 2 episodes of the quarterback show that I sat through before I got bored with it. I was like, you know what? He's actually really likable. Like, how do you emerge and not feel like he's a good guy and a likable guy? And he's pretty damn good at quarterback, right? And I would take Cousins over Carr, whatever you want me to say that, fine. But what I'm saying is still a bit of empty calorie games. And
what, Mario, you still wouldn't?
And Graham Mertz has got a little bit of that as well.
No, I'm trying to think who we can use besides Kirk for empty calories. Justin Herbert?
Oh.
No.
Well, the problem is Justin Herbert's not even getting the calories nowadays. Like he needs to fatten up a little bit. He needs to eat more chips right now.
Not enough chip on your dip.
How do we feel about Herbert, Jake? Because you're someone who's been highly critical of Josh Allen, but Herbert seems to be going through his own downswing. Now the Chargers are winning, so it kind of doesn't matter. What's the record? 5-4?
Yeah.
Right?
Are they 4-4?
They're 4-4. They were 3-4 last night.
There you go.
So how are we feeling? What is, as our resident Chargers reporter? What are you? How are the San Diego Superchargers feeling about Justin Herbert?
I wish they were
right
still
now?
the San Diego Superchargers.
I know. I'm just calling.
No, he needs to play better. He has all the talent, and no Mike Williams, no Josh Palmer, but you still have Keenan Allen. Quinshon Johnston doesn't feel like a first round pick right now. He's not even a part of the offense, and you took him above Addison and some other receivers there. But look, you got to play better. Ain't no doubt about it. Does he have the talent? Absolutely. He's dealing with a broken finger.
I was about to say, I'm sure he's still hurt. It seems like he's always just playing through some awful injury every year.
I mean, one of the things, they have a lot of draft resources on that offensive line, first round, kind of like Saints. First rounders all over the place, and still just like, oof.
Yeah, the injury to Williams was killer. Mike Williams.
Your center's out as well, so our guy Will Clapp's having to step in, and so no, he needs to play better. I think Justin Herbert is a very, very talented player, but he does kind of fall into that Josh Allen territory where he can make a play that maybe nobody else can make in the NFL, or only like 3 guys can make in the NFL, but it's not consistent enough. And when he's not consistent, it's actually hurting his team, just like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
They're kind of really comparable.
That's true. That's true. So we'll see where the rest of both of those seasons go for those quarterbacks. Boys, just true circle here. To be honest, a lot of basketball in the air. I am shocked a bit at okay, so Jake, you sent a funny text right here in the chat, and it's from AJ Brown. It's a tweet from AJ Brown. Is that his actual Twitter too? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, yeah, whatever. It's AJ Brown's Twitter, and he says, "My nephew's favorite player is Justin Jefferson. LOL, it be your own family. We're gonna see if Jets can get him something for Christmas because I'm not." which is very funny, but it's kind of how I feel about the LSU women's basketball team reaction right now. A lot of these LSU fans it be your own family. I'm shocked at the amount of Coach Mulkey this or this team that. At what point? I understood it from the outside looking in, but our chat is generally like an LSU homer chat. I'm saying, what am I missing here that so many people are so off the bandwagon after an opening season loss?
I guess the expectation, I guess it got built up, and I understand, this was, this is a super team put together, and so a lot of times super teams, you expect them to be undefeated and be undefeated for a long time, and then opening game loss against a really good team, but I think also maybe don't realize what Colorado is as a team.
Also, it's basketball, though.
Well,
this ain't football. It's one
Look,
loss.
I had to run the game with Patrick Wright last night. I think a lot of people are probably a little bit off just because how poorly LSU shot. I mean, Angel Reese, wide open layups under the goal, missing, not getting a rebounds like she was supposed to. Players get into foul trouble. But the issue I think people have is like, oh, you're number 1 and you lost to number 20. These rankings are always in basketball just ranked on, oh, well, how talented is this roster? Yeah. It's a talented roster. Let's put it together. Colorado, not just their starting 5. They have their top 7 players from a team that went to the Sweet 16 back. Haley Van Lith is a brand new player. Michaela Williams, who looked like your best player last night, she's a true freshman. Anissa Morrow's a transfer player. I mean, outside of Angel Reese and Flaugier Johnson, this is pretty much a new team. So don't look at it as number 1 versus number 20. Look at it as a veteran team that has played together for a long time beat a super talented team that just started playing together. If you look at it that way, your outlook completely changes.
And again, Coach Mulkey straight up texted me this yesterday at 9:45 a.m. Colorado is better than we are right now. They have 7 returning seniors and graduates who are talented but not as polished as Colorado yet. Experience and playing together matters. We will fight hard. And regardless of the outcome of the game, this will be good for us. Go Tigers. How could you not love that perspective from a coach? It's called keeping it real. And then what? You think she's not going to be? You think she's not going to fall through? I don't know. The reaction to me feels like there's stuff like outside of the actual game itself where people are just waiting to pounce for some reason, which, again, I understand from the outside. I'm a little surprised seeing the LSU community. So Pels lose, LSU men's basketball lose, but LSU men's wins. And I got to be honest, boys. I don't like with LSU men's basketball. I am. They have to win for me to care. In our the laboratory show used to talk about this thing called fan width, right? Like you only have so much fan width to give out. And for me, men's college basketball has always been that thing where I'm not the type of guy that's going to go to the TV and just watch all the games. It's never quite clicked with me.
Not right now.
And especially not right now. But I don't have the fan. But Taylor, you paid attention to the game. Do you think this team's going to maybe make me a little excited? Bring me in a little bit here. What's the deal?
They got to be better than last year, right? But in all seriousness, what they lacked last year was that outside shooting. They shot 54% from 3 last night. I mean, they were really good. Will Baker at 7 foot. He's your center. He was 2 of 2 from 3, 10 of 11, and then he hit 7 out of 8 of his free throws. He had 29 points, 5 rebounds. Carlos Stewart, he's kind of your starting point guard, your team captain. When they've had media availability, he was the guy that took over the mic. I mean, he is the leader of that team. He's a Louisiana native. You got Derek Fountain back. He gives you solid minutes off the bench. Tyrell Ward looked really good. He was 3 for 4 from a 3-point range. Trey Hannibal's back. He's still doing the dirty work. Mawani Wilkinson's finally healthy. So, you don't have one star player, but I think there's a lot of quality depth on this team.
Okay.
Will it be better than it was a year ago? Now, remember last year they kind of started the non-con, winning a lot of games, and Coach McMahon's like, well, hold up, wait a minute.
He, too, was being very real about the situation. He never sounded like that was going to be a great team.
Let me tell you, when we were in Destin for spring meetings, I mean, he was incredibly open about what that team was and the expectation and the things that they lacked because – it's like, hey, Coach, look, we get the situation. We get what it was. And he's like, I ain't have none of that. We got to be better in players, coaches. And that was bad basketball last year. I think was his exact term.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he realizes what the challenge was. Will it be, no, it's one game. But do you think this team will be more competitive once they get in the league play than that team was?
Yeah, dude, because, their main issue, they weren't great shooting. They didn't have any size last year.
Yeah, that's what you can look right. Bada boom says
you can look right now. Will Baker, 7 foot. Jalen Reed, 6'10".
Oh, wow.
Derek Fountain, 6'10". Tyrell Ward, 6'7". Mawani Wilkinson, 6'6", 6'7". Trey Hannibal, he's a 6'2" guard, but he plays like he's about 6'5", 6'6". I mean, you have a lot of height on this team, which is something you didn't really have last year. So your physicality in SEC play killed you last year. They should be a lot better in that area.
The fact that there's so little interest around them kind of makes me root for them harder. Underdogs. Nobody's expecting anything out of this team. You supplement that with all the interest in the women's team. It has to be kind of rough for these guys. It would be nice to see them get some wins and at least be competitive. Like an NIT appearance for me would be a good season.
Well, that's where we go back to the great meritocracy that are sports. You control that. if you win, we'll care. You know, when Will Wade had this team competing for SEC championships, regular season, like we watched those games. We cared. We talked about it. We broke them down. College Game Day was here. Remember, like the Dickie V drama. So ultimately, if you win, we'll pay attention. The same thing with the Pelicans, right? You want to win over Heart and Minds? Well, Valley's not helping. But if you win, you will.
I was catching up with Dallin Cuff, who covers basketball for ESPN, and he's a co-host of mine in basketball season on off campus. And we were talking about the games. He goes, "Can we stop playing?" He's like, "We got Monday Night Football tonight. We got college football. We've got. Why are we starting college basketball season right now?
It's too much."
He's like, "Why do we not push it back a little bit, condense it if we have to?" Like, he's like, it is not helping the game because there's 25% of the season that none of your listeners give a damn about right now. And he played college basketball at Columbia. He covers college basketball.
Well, but I wonder if they hate that so much though, because it is non-con, right? So it's kind of like for the hoop heads they get into it, but for the coaches it's almost like a preseason where you figure out your team, you try to get them ready for conference play.
There's a purpose for it, but as
bit.
far as like eyeballs,
yeah,
and
no,
like
people have to watch.
excitement.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that, bro. I can't. I mean, I'm out here trying to finish Baldur's Gate 3. Knocking out like 30 minutes at a time. I'm not trying to watch early season men's basketball. Finally got into Act 2. Over like 3 or 4 months. I was looking at time played, and it's up to like 60 hours all in Act 1. So now I'm finally into Act 2, advancing the story. It's a fun game. Very fun game.
All right. I don't know what that means, but congratulations.
I do know. Yeah, that's okay. All right, coming up.
Speaking of Will Wade, me and Mario were talking about it a little bit earlier. McNeese upset VCU last night.
What?
76-65.
What?
Yep, Will Wade 1-0 with the what
played VCU too.
Yeah, they played VCU.
Yeah, that was his old spot, right?
Yeah, he was there before LSU.
Wow.
Hashtag
76-65 on the road.
Bayou Bandits of McNeese get the
Boot
win.
up. Are they saying boot up?
Yeah, no, Bayou Bandits is their thing. McNeese, that's their hashtag.
Okay. Just go boot up Bayou Bandits. Go full alliteration there. Shout out to our former general. It sucks too because he was such a fan favorite for Mac McMahon. It really sucks because like you're trying to overcome a fan favorite and be as good as him, and he was really good when it came to results. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Give him a shot. You know, last year was what it was, but he knew what it was. Now it's something more resembling a team, not just something cobbled together.
He took over like the worst situation that you could possibly imagine. That is.
Look, I follow college basketball, LSU pretty closely. I like Matt McMahon. I liked it when he got the hire. I think he says all the right things. Last year was a tough situation. Like you can't judge him off of last year.
We'll see. We'll see. So which basketball team will emerge to snag the basketball share of hearts that's out there, right? Will it be LSU women's? Will it be the Pelicans? Will it be the LSU men's basketball team? Only time will tell.
If I'm not mistaken, LSU women, I mean, they lose their first game of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong. They didn't lose their first game last year until February against South Carolina. Right?
Yeah, but remember how Coach Mulkey throughout the entire beginning of the season was talking about how, like, hell yeah, I want to schedule bad teams because we're bad. Like, we want to get good first and then play good teams. She was, like, very honest about it.
Jeez, yeah, they didn't lose till February 12th of last year when they were 23-0.
They're actually the first #1 women's team to lose their opening game since 95-96 UConn. So it's been quite a long time. Now, I wonder what 95-96 UConn would
look that up. They've got Queens University, Mississippi Valley State, Kent State, Southeastern, Texas Southern, Niagara, and then UVA, and then Virginia Tech, and then ULL. So until you get to Virginia Tech, who, remember, I mean, very, very good team. They're ranked 8th in the country, November the 30th. Like, you got time to get back on track and figure out who your team is.
Yeah, no, bro, I'm not. I mean, I ain't worried about Kim Mulkey.
Oh, right. No, I'm just saying.
Like if I'm worried about anybody, like I'm a little worried about Brian Gill. There's some questions there. Like, I ain't worried about Jay Johnson. I ain't worried about Kim Mulkey. Bottom line.
How'd that team end up?
UConn in 95-96.
Trying to look at my computer
34-4.
Okay,
so even they ended up being probably okay.
Yeah. Hey, if Gino could do it, I don't think it's probably bad doing anything that Gino Auriemma's ever, done. It's not bad company to keep. All right. When we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Countryside, I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, reacting to LSU's basketball opener. We'll have Glenn West on the Tigers and Sharif Ishak on the Saints. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Congratulations to Mark Cumby. I know him from the chat. Mark is our Week 10 winner in the 2023 Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em Contest. He wins a Twin Peaks gift card. Don't forget to make your picks for Week 11 by noon this Thursday. Play the Twin Peaks College Football Pick'em today at 1045ESPN.com.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Shout out Mark Cumbie, about to get that cleavage and chicken wings, man. Hell yeah, dog. Entire business empires, multiple empires, have been built in this country on the back of cleavage and chicken wings. It's incredible. The things that, it's so simple, isn't it? I mean, really, chicken. Like, if we just think about the chicken empires in Louisiana alone, we have 3.
Yeah.
We have Popeyes, we have Cane's, and we have Crispy Crunchy. Which it's kind of insane to think about how it just, no, we're just gonna make chicken. It's gonna make really good chicken.
Hey, just make it good.
And then you're a billionaire. Like, what? I mean,
What a country.
yeah.
What a
Hell
state.
yeah. What if we just had push-up bras? Yeah, do that. There you go. Money.
I don't know how you got there, but I
No, because like Hooters. Like, I imagine that's how, like, I imagine that he got to the
He's pairing the
At
chicken.
first, like,
Yes.
I went away from that. I went to chicken, and then you went back to
I'm
the
just
original
thinking about what
point.
the original Hooters business pitch was.
Yeah.
Right.
Push-up bras
Right.
and chicken.
Okay. Yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
Combo we've never thought of.
That could work. Boobs and chicken. Wow. Unbelievable. And it has, you know?
Oh, we did some research during the break. You mentioned that
Breasts and breasts.
All right.
Think about it.
Oh, that's a good one. I like
Right?
the.
I mean, obvious. That was the obvious. Like that
how
was.
long?
I just had,
You just-
my wheels are turning. Yeah.
How long until like a Hooters Twin Peaks competitor comes out and they are called
B&B?
Breast and Breast? Yeah.
That's a little too on the nose.
B&B.
That's a little too on the nose, I think, for the actual name of the company. But maybe that's what you put on the pitch doc, like the core ethos.
Or it's like their
B&B.
slogan on their menu or something.
I still can't believe they haven't made a male equivalent, or do they have one?
Yeah, it's called.
I don't know. Cool. I know what
It
I
is.
would call it.
No, they have one.
They do?
Well,
I didn't know
kinda-
that.
Kind of.
I would call
Kinda.
it something along the lines of the South Carolina mascot. Is what I would say. I think there's
Well,
a
there
lot
is the
of stuff you
restaurant
can play
Dick's
with
where
there.
they're just rude to you.
Really?
That's what
Oh, that's a great. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
It's really fun.
Yeah, they have one. I know in Panama City Beach where
I go to the one in Gallenberg
yeah,
every year.
they're just rude to you. The waiters are rude to you. That's kind of the shtick.
Sounds awful.
No, it's funny. It's funny though.
I mean, okay.
It's nothing.
Yeah, look, man, people like, there are masochists. Some people like to be whipped and tied up. So I guess it's just like a lighter version of that same thing.
I don't know if that correlates.
I
but
mean,
understand what you're
it's not that different. Like you're going to be a sub.
saying. To be belittled.
You're going to be Dom.
I guarantee you,
right?
like more than half of the people that go to that restaurant just go to take pictures to post on Instagram. Like, hey, we're at the rude waiter place.
That's true. You got a little bit of shtick going. That's how you make it. That's fair. Shtick. I said shtick.
I know. I just like that word.
God, you know what make this soup better? What if somebody just made me feel really insecure? Oh, yeah. God, this bisque is going down so much better now that I'm worried about losing my hair. I don't know. That seems crazy to me. But sure, whatever, dude. Different strokes.
I've been a few times. It's fun.
What do they say to you? Are they mean or just rude? Like, are they insulting you or are they just shut up?
If they do, they come up to your table ahead of time and they're like, "Hey, this is how it works. Like, if you don't want to do this, we don't have to." So it's not.
Okay,
it's not
so
that bad.
Again, my whole masochism angle, because that is how you do that, right? If you're really into that sort of stuff, you make sure ahead of time you talk it out. You're basically role playing.
Well, like what I've seen is like,
do you have a safe word if you start to get too upset?
No, but it's like, can I have some napkins? They just walk by, throw the napkins on your table, and leave. Like it's nothing.
Okay,
And then like,
okay, that's kind of
I
fun.
saw one time the table next to me. They're like, "Can you take a group picture of us?" And the waitress is like, "Yeah, sure." And then she just takes like 1,000 selfies, gives them the phone, and leaves. So
Okay.
she's like, "Yeah, it's nothing like crazy."
Okay, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Everybody's on the
It's
bed.
not like,
it's a role
hey,
play.
fat ass, have you had enough?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, no.
Oh, man. But some people are into that too, right? So it's like, I don't know.
Well, T-Bob, I think we've learned that there's somebody that's into everything.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
This
we've heard
is-
some of Mario's stuff.
This is interesting. Ashley Megan says working at Abercrombie & Fitch was like, Dix, you were basically supposed to ignore the customers. I could definitely see that. Like Hollister used to give off those vibes as well. The kind of smug.
Once you got past
we are above
the
you.
smell of it.
Well, and speaking of the cleavage male equivalent, Hollister did used to just have a dude with sick abs standing outside the store at all times. Yeah. And I'd always be jealous of him. Be like, man, look at those abs, dude. What is life like with abs like that? You just glide through it. All doors are open to you. All legs are spread. You just kind of do whatever you want your entire life. Man, crazy. I'll never know. Oh, well.
I used to wear shirts that were way too tight from Hollister.
We all did.
That's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
If you didn't, you probably didn't grow up at the time that we did. That is, there's no shame there. Would you eat at the Heart Attack Grill?
Oh, wait, what's
that?
In?
That's the place where they actively try to be like, we are. Okay, to be clear, if I get some stuff wrong, I am pulling from vague snatches of pop culture osmosis.
Okay.
It is the place where I think if you're like fat enough, you eat for free. And they actively try to make like the most unhealthy stuff ever. And I want to say the guy who founded it originally had something to do in nutrition or something, but he claims that he felt dishonest and that he's just like, you know what, I just want to be honest about what you're eating. And then so he just made this thing where it's like, hey, this is super unhealthy. You're going to die. They've had multiple people die or have heart attacks at the restaurant.
Yeah.
I'd eat there.
The food.
I'd eat there. What kind of food is it?
You can buy an
burgers and stuff, right?
Yeah, I'd eat there for
You
sure.
can buy an octuple bypass hamburger, which has 19,900 kilocalories. So you can basically
What's on it?
8 patties. You could basically stack your burgers from
Too
single.
much meat.
19,000 calories?
Yes, double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, sextuple, septuple, and octuple bypass hamburgers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
8 patties is entirely too much meat.
Where's this place at?
In Las Vegas, downtown Vegas. I knew I walked past it recently.
I'm looking at their
if you're
menu.
over a certain BMI, you eat for free. So I was right about that. I would feel really uncomfortable if the fat guy next to me died while I'm eating my burger. I don't know. That does not sound like the ideal restaurant experience.
That's just gluttony to the max right there.
It is. It is. I mean, I think that's the entire point.
I'd probably stop at quadruple.
Jeez. The restaurant's spokesperson, 575-pound Blair River, died on March 1st, 2011, age 29 from complications from pneumonia.
Customers can also order unfiltered cigarettes or candy cigarettes for children.
Look, I got to tell you, I'm looking up their menu right now. Quadruple bypass burger, 4 patties, only like $15. That's a deal there. I'm
That
going.
is actually a great deal. It's a good price.
I'm going.
Oh, so there's incentive to get the heart attack. That's genius. That's good business right there.
This is making me angry.
That is what this is, because some people do get very angry. It is controversial. Like some people are very upset that this place exists and encourages this sort of
Look, they
behavior.
got a half-pound coronary dog. It's a deep-fried hot dog. Kind of
That
looks
sounds
good
great.
on the
That sounds
menu.
great.
Yeah.
This is
with
like
chili cheese flatliner fries. I think I'm into this place.
Flatliner.
Hey, let's all try it. OTB trip, LSU, USC.
Oh yeah, it's true. We actually could, dude.
I can promise you, if I go to Vegas for that game, I'm not going there. With all the restaurant options that we have in Vegas.
Probably a damn good burger though, Bo.
Imagine.
That's great.
I do love a burger.
Yeah, I don't need 4 patties.
You can get a double or a single.
I'm kind of into the gimmick of just seeing what it's like.
It's probably delicious.
Look, a double bypass, $11.50, fries and a drink. It's a good deal.
The Bilbo says the owner of Heart Attack Grill straight up said that people dying from his food is good for business.
I mean, it is. It's called Heart Attack Grill, so.
Wow. Oh yeah, hosts wear nurses' outfits and customers eat in hospital gowns. Oh my god, bro, that's up there with the Sphere on signs of the end of civilization. Like that is some Hunger Games capital sort of behavior right there. That ain't no good, Bose.
Bilbo said, "What if they're turkey patties?"
That ain't no good, Bo.
No, I don't think it matters, Bilbo.
The deep fried hot dog looks really good.
Man, we got to move on. I'm hungry as hell.
What a takeaway from the conversation. But I kind of agree. Like now I'm thinking about burgers.
Frost.
Never had it. If you think it's that good, I should maybe try
Really?
it.
I mean, it's
Big
down the
ranch
street.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So what you know, old school little diner.
Root beer's really good.
Steps away from us.
Have you ever stepped there or you drive your car? Don't
I've
you?
walked there a couple times.
Good for you.
Just
Mario.
for convenience sake.
Good for you.
I do have, I've never done that. I have done DraftKings Sportsbook app. Remember, right now the NBA season's going on, and, well, DraftKings wants you to get in on the action. So if you're signing up for the first time, use the promo code Baton Rouge, all one word, Baton Rouge. You bet $5 on an NBA game, boys, what do you get? I read this thing every day. If you dummies don't know the answer to what you get if you bet $5 on an NBA game, we are going to fight.
$150.
Oh, my God.
I was going to say 100.
Oh, my.
It's something with like free bets, right?
I don't want to hear anything about zoning out during reads. Get the hell out of here.
Shut the hell up. Every day we do this live, and it has been the exact same
Is it
for
200?
months.
Can I guess?
It's 200.
200.
$200 in bonus bets instantly.
Yeah, bonus. I was saying free bets, but bonus bets.
Yeah, it's
In bonus bets instantly. The terminology is bonus. But I don't care about that. I can't believe y'all didn't know the number.
Hey, I was close. I just said 150 in free bets. I just needed 200. Like
Y'all kind of lucked out because next week goes down to 150. So, Jake, you were
See,
kind of
we were
ahead of the
forward-thinking.
curve. You're ahead of the
Yeah.
curve.
Notre Dame.
But for now, it's 200. And it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You bet on the NBA $5 if you're signing up for the first time. But remember, they always got great NFL game day deals, boosts, all of that you want to check out. So Thursday, Sunday, Monday, college football, pontoon parlay. Eventually, Taylor won't screw it up. DraftKings Sportsbook app. Promo code Baton Rouge. Gambling promo code 100GAMBLER, 100-426-2537. Must be 21 or older. Physically present in Louisiana. Select pairs only. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Eligibility and product restrictions apply. Bonus bet expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. More to you next.
OTB, OT.
Go to Noel Family Distillery, where you get bold spirits for every occasion. And that's real, you know? And put it to the test. Toast to the best. I cannot encourage you enough. Like, please listen to me. Don't tune me out right now, okay? Guys, when you go to the bar or the grocery store, go to the bar or the grocery store, you ask for Noel Family Distillery. And if you want tequila, vodka, rum, they got you. And then just know, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is great. And then, oh my God, I'm supporting awesome local business. And oh my God, I want this for my home so I can drink delicious nightcaps before I go to bed. Noel Family Distillery, they're the best. Buy from the boot. Go see them too.
Bold spirits for every occasion. Rums, tequila, vodka, canned cocktails as well. They truly do have it all. You can shop right there on their website. And like T-Bob said, you can go see them in Deville as well. Take a tour there. NoelDistillery.com. NoelDistillery.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Sean Salisbury joins us, and a recruiting update with Shay Dixon. Hopefully you'll join us Tuesday 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Rolling right along. Looking forward to Florida. Ask the bench. Call of awareness. Self-awareness? Bigger disaster for LSU and Brian Kelly. Lost to Florida or lost to Texas A&M? If he loses both, does his seat at least get warm? Again, guys, no, there is no such thing as a warm seat with the contract that Brian Kelly has and the economy that Louisiana has. So this is something
The worst loss would be A&M because you lost to them last year.
Yep.
And you recruit against them way more than you do Florida.
Well, and also they have Yale leaders. Florida don't. So A&M would be a worse loss.
They got Yale leaders. Florida don't. I like that.
It is weird, though, because Florida's worse.
Still, it's A&M. You lost to them last year, and you shouldn't have lost. They were a bad team last year. You lost to them.
That's true. It's
You compete against them, again, for Houston recruits, for Texas recruits, for Louisiana recruits. Florida, you might get into some recruiting battles, not near as many as you do with Texas A&M.
Also, if you lose, again, your seat's impossible to get hot, and there is a certain level of peace that comes with that, right? Because, it's one thing I've been thinking about a lot with A&M. If behind closed doors the $75 million is a non-starter, then that's okay, you know?
Yeah.
I can accept that. Now, I would if I'm an Aggie fan, I think I would like the administration to come out and say that. And then I can be like, okay, cool. You know, then we just got to make peace with it and try to enjoy whatever football we get out of Jimbo. Where it becomes torturous is if the $75 million is maybe possible.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're like, and you just drive yourself insane. And then maybe you actually do it. And then that feels doubly bad because the opportunity cost of all money spent on buyouts is doubly bad now because you're giving up money that could go to players for NIL.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. And facilities and everything else. So, again, for LSU, if you're an LSU fan, you can take with you the clarity that that is a non-starter. There is nowhere, I don't care how many games you lose, nothing's happening. So, like, take that with you and just recognize that is what it is. And it's, for me personally, like I said, I think it brings peace and clarity, but whatever. I don't think they're going to lose both games anyway.
Ross Bjork really, really likes Jimbo, too. I mean, the AD there, not that matters. I mean, obviously the AD can only have so much input, but if he came out one way or the other, it probably would help ease their minds. Like, hey, guys,
yeah,
we ain't buying out $75 million.
Yes, exactly.
Or they come out and be like, hey, all options are available. Then, I mean, you kind of know what direction, because that means they are looking at all options.
Yeah, there is not a more purgatorial team than Texas A&M right now. They are truly stuck in the in-between.
Yeah, and Texas is about to join the SEC. Texas has a potential playoff appearance coming up. Bad time right now in Aggieland.
Please let Texas get left out of the playoff at 12-1. Oh, I'd be so happy, dude. I'd just be ripping on Longhorn fans so bad. I'm so upset.
Which team would you want of the one-loss teams? That's the one you want left out the most?
No, I want Alabama.
Okay.
I want my decaying empire take to be correct. I want Alabama to not win a natty for the first time in 3 years in the Nick Saban era. I want them to lose to Kirby Smart in Georgia and feel less than. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, just making
Confirming.
sure. Confirm it, exactly.
Did it just get incredibly cold in here?
It's that 9 a.m., Bo.
I mean,
Aggie Tim kicks in, man.
My nose should not feel like this inside.
Well, are you feeling a little old inside maybe? Because you check out Rejuve Me Medical. That might help. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Not,
Store me, refuel me, Rejuve Me. You're getting pretty old. You're
I was
almost
about to
40
say,
years old,
I'm almost
dude.
40. I'm about to be in my Mike Gundy phase of life.
That's true. Well, guess what? You can... You know what? I don't know, man. Mike Gundy looks like he's probably on Rejuve Me because he's getting older and he's still kicking
Hair
ass.
looks great.
I mean, he's still kicking ass. So if you want to be Mike Gundy, you go to Rejuve Me Medical. Male, even if you want to be a female Mike Gundy, you go to Rejuve Me Medical, okay? Because they understand the aging process, how to combat it. They have a ton of different treatments, y'all. And we're talking everything from mood and memory problems, insomnia, unexplainable weight gain.
You can't lose weight.
Yeah, exactly.
Working out, eating healthy, the pounds aren't, coming off.
They
Just
got you.
that too.
Maybe it's semaglutide, maybe HRT. The point is, go to Rejuve Me, Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, Shreveport as well now at RejuveMeMedical.com. T-Bob, do you believe the Alabama offensive performance was fool's gold? I think this. I think that's an Alabama offense that has been getting better, but I don't draw any great conclusions. Like other teams are not going to allow Jalen Milroe to do what LSU. Now, I do think Alabama, Georgia is looking friskier by the day, but yes, there's a bit of a fool's gold element because you're talking about going against this terrible LSU defense.
And the adjustments that were not made, like we've talked about throughout the show, right? So I think there is a lot to kind of look at and say, okay, is this based off what we did or what the opponent didn't do? Like, again, I got after my guy PB. He's like, we just saw a Cam Newton performance. No, you didn't. Like, in no disrespect to Jalen Milroe. I love his attitude. I love the way he plays, and he is a good player. He can make plays. But you never adjusted. Like, you never made that move to say, hey, we're not going to allow you to do the thing that you do best. Right? So Cam Newton, when he was doing it against Pat Pete and company, like we were talking about yesterday during the break, that feels different than what Jalen Milroe did. Again, you can only make the plays the defense allows you to make, but still to not take away the thing he does best, that changes the performance.
Yeah. More OTB. Closing out the show, Ask the Bench next.
OTB, OT.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. Say it one more time. Not twice, but thrice. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. Go see them off Airline Highway today. Find your next vehicle. Let the excellent people at All-Star drive you to the best deals, the best everything. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. I don't give you buy new, used, leasing. And I love the Toyota certified used vehicles because you get the quality, time-tested engineering of Toyota, but you get it at an excellent price, and you get great warranty coverage as well. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go to the website today to reserve your rental. If you've got a trip coming up for the holidays, be it Thanksgiving, or you want to plan ahead, get that vehicle ready for Christmas or whatever you have, whatever trip that you have coming up. You can go ahead and do that right now. The full fleet is available. Everything is ready. Per day rental prices. Check those out online as well. Reserve your rental today from All Star Toyota, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, reacting to LSU's basketball opener. We'll have Glenn West on the Tigers and Sharif Ishak on the Saints. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Woo, got to confirm, boys. Coach Mulkey's back on for Tuesdays at 8:30 this season. Let's ride. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Kurtz Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. I want to have this conversation, but, you know, there's something that has to happen first, but it is interesting. Ask the Bench, if you're a top DC, which job looks better to you, LSU or USC?
LSU.
I think so, yeah. I mean tradition.
Traditionally what that side of the football is. I mean,
ask the Bench, I'm going to tailgate for the Georgia State game the weekend before Thanksgiving. What should I cook? Some turkey?
Ham.
God, you got me thinking about ham. Been thinking about ham ever since you said it.
Yeah.
Ask the Bench, it's International Merlot Day. What's your go-to wine? I've always been like a basic cab boy. I mean, I love, if I'm buying like an expensive bottle, like Prisoner's excellent. Yeah, I love a good cap. Just incredible.
I like Pinot. Wasn't there a movie that like the guy hated Pinot?
I prefer Ubers.
In Sideways, yes, the whole movie was he hated Merlot and loved Pinot.
Yeah.
It was one or the other, and there was always tales about how the sales skyrocketed of one, the other crashed, which was funny because he didn't hate, like the one that he didn't hate the taste. He hated it because it reminded him of his ex-wife. But I was actually looking that up the other day, and I don't know if there's hard data to suggest that sales skyrocketed and the other actually fell, but that was like kind of the accepted Sideways effect. Ask the bench, would Coach Joe as DC at South Carolina or at USC scare you insofar as recruiting? I don't think Coach Joe wants to coach anymore. Maybe though.
Much less in California.
Well, I think I don't know. I think he does like LA. I mean, he used to live out there for a while.
Didn't he call the USC administration like some country club people or something?
Yeah, I mean, well, they obviously disrespected him.
Yeah. So I don't think he'd go back there.
Ask the bench, Ash Ketchum's mom or Jesse the redhead from Team Rocket? Jesse.
Definitely.
James. T-Bob got a question now. I know it's been 3 days, but in your respectful opinion, was a hit on JD Dirty? I've said this everywhere. I don't think so, but I mean, if you disagree, yell at me. That's fine. I wish we had somebody that would have hit Jalen Miller like that.
Or just hit him.
Ask the bench.
That would have worked.
It's sad, but true. Best Chinese restaurant in town. Sit down.
I'm going to go to you on this one.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a Chinese Inn basic boy, but I don't know if they do sit down anymore. Still,
People will hate it.
Yeah, actually, I don't know that either. Yeah.
People will hate this answer because it's a chain, but I like B.F. Chang's.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, I do hate that. I mean, it's good, but yeah.
Yeah, B.F. Chang's all right. Yeah. I like Chinese cheaper.
Yeah.
OTB.
Yeah.
OT.
Yeah.
Go to Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com. For all your AC, heating, and electrical needs, you want to go to Accutemp. It's time to take control of your comfort zone with a company that's going to give you service to the highest degree. In fact, we promise, just like your AC, this service will blow you away. So hit up Accutemp today, AccutempBR.com.
I don't know why we're doing this, but my hand's covered up, and so it doesn't make quite the sound that T-Bob's made. But go to AccutempBR.com today. Schedule your appointment online. You can do it right there. Click on the red box. You see it right there. That's not really a box. It's kind of more of a rectangle, but you know what I'm saying. It says schedule online. Click on that. Go ahead, get it done, and chances are they're probably going to have that done today. They're going to send that profile of who's coming to your house today. You're going to get an idea of who they are, a little bit about them, and so you can trust them from every single level. AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful